Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Uh-oh, is my audio coming through? Okay, we good now. What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with your other host of SML Podcast, Project Storm. Storm, how are you doing today, man?
Man, what episode is this, man? I'm on the Street Power Football right now, so don't bother me, man. I'm having a blast on the Street Power Football, man. I knew the game was gonna be dope. That's how I'm feeling today, though. MM2K, I'm feeling like Street Power Football is a sleeper. Now, I don't hear that many people talking about it. I don't hear y'all out here talking about the Street Power Football and that soundtrack and all that. I remember, shout out to John Scar, man, when he shows up. If he shows up today, Four Scars Gaming, y'all check him out, sub and all that good stuff, right?
Facts.
I remember him breaking this game down, and now I'm on it right now live as the show is happening. Y'all, this right here is the funnest thing I played in a long time, man.
Wow.
In a long time. And the soundtrack. All right, but we'll get into it a little bit later, man. I'm sorry, y'all, but hey, I'm feeling pretty good. It's Saturday, the sun is shining, you know what I'm saying? After like a series of thunderstorms and flash floods, SML is back, y'all. Episode 35. We're bringing it all the way live, and I'm ready because we got a hell of a show planned. MM2K, you already know. We're going to need at least 30 minutes to cover this one particular session, but man, I'm ready to jump into it. How about you?
Hey, you think just 30 minutes? We'll see, man. We're going to put the timer on and see.
You know how we do. You know how we do. We might not start the show to the hour mark.
But with that said, this is going to be one of those shows where, again, we've been I said it, Storm, on Thursday that I would stop saying it, but you know me, I'm a liar. I have no integrity. But I am going to stop saying it. We're going to have some adult conversations today because, as you can see in the title, there's a big debate out there. Why cloud gaming is the future? We're having people that debate that. And a lot of people debate that, having their doubts and their reservations about cloud gaming without even touching it. I think what's happened is Storm may or may not agree with this concept that I have here, but that's the beauty of this show. We ain't always got to agree. We don't come off no conveyor belt. But I think a lot of people have resigned themselves to armchair quarterbacking about stuff. Like you'll never catch me say, oh, this is trash or this is that without me giving it a try. If I don't want to give it a try, it don't interest me. But until I give it a try, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't give into that when it comes to products and services and things of that nature. So we're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about the Stadia summer hype. We told y'all that, man, it was our flesh just was burning. Our skin was chopping a little bit. It was going to be a hot Stadia summer. And by all intents and purposes, we're starting to see that with the Google TV, Android TV rollout. That's showing some good, significant numbers. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the hype behind Rainbow Six Siege. And we're going to talk about a new job posting. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, we feel. We're not even into the real depth of the summer. So we're going to get into that a little bit. But with that said, Storm, let me pay these bills. Shut the heck up, because you know everybody ain't here for me. They're here to hear what you've been playing. So let me pay these bills real quick. Today is SML Podcast. That is a show that is hosted by Project Storm and myself. This show airs every 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, either on this channel or Project Storm's channel. If you're not subscribed to Project Storm, shame on you. Fix that right now. His channel link is in the description below. Go there, subscribe right now so you don't miss next week's fire show, because last week's show was definitely fire. I'm hoping to keep the fire going this week, but nobody does it like my brother Storm. All right. Next up, Sundays, trifecta, normally on Sundays, but you know, because it's the 4th, we're going to see how things shake out. First and foremost, normally on Sundays, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the Revolutionary Storm podcast. That is the podcast hosted by Project Storm and my brother Stadia Rev. I don't know if Stadia Rev is in the chat, but whose channel is it? It's on Rev's channel. Are y'all even having a show tomorrow?
Yeah, see, Rev, see, this right here is where me and Rev, see, this is going to get me in trouble, man. Because, see, the 4th is happening tomorrow. Ying Meets Yang of Gaming is not going to happen until next weekend, y'all. It's finally coming back next weekend. We had a series of events and holidays that, you know, that pushed us back further and all that stuff, some real life situations. But, yo, the Revolutionary Storm, I was trying to see if we could maybe squeeze something out yesterday as like a pre 4th of July show, man, but it didn't work out that way. So I got to talk to the brother Rev. It's not going to happen tomorrow though because I got family coming down, man. It's going to be
Gotcha.
impossible to do something. So
Absolutely.
we'll figure out something, man. I don't want to make Rev wait to the following Sunday. So maybe we can come up with something during the week, man. A quick hour and a half special, hour
Oh, okay.
special, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna talk to my homie.
Absolutely. That'd be dope. Hey, with that said, just so people know that, but put a placeholder on that. 11 a.m. Sundays Eastern Standard Time. Next week, we're going to be fully back in effect with Revolutionary Storm. And at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my brother puts on his Y jacket, Project Storm that is, and he's co-hosting the Yang Meets Yang of Gaming podcast show with, not with Stadia Rev, with Snow Bunny Gaming and the homie Rome Rush, and they talk all things gaming. Definitely check out that show. Put a placeholder, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. Last but certainly not least, and we're going to be live in effect with a giveaway as normal, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel is the number show for Stadia. That is a show that is hosted by Jack Deslip, Mr. Stadia Numbers himself, and myself, and we go over all this extrapolated data, all this great information and great resource of numbers, and we have the community favorite, Bad Journalism of the Month award. So definitely check that out. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss our giveaway for that one. All right. On Wednesdays, we have another show called SSC Podcast. That is a show that is also co-hosted by Project Storm and myself. That show is all things Stadia. Unlike today's show, we're going to cover cloud. We're going to have a focus on Stadia. We're going to talk about whatever y'all want to talk about when y'all call in today. But that show on Wednesdays is all Stadia. That show airs on this platform as well every week. It is Wednesdays around 2-ish or 3-ish Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. that is, or 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put a placeholder on that. Last but certainly not least, I think we're going to be able to do it this Thursday, Storm. I think we are. Got my wife's rehab schedule set up. I don't think we're going to have no dis. I think this is going to be a great week. What show am I
That's
talking
what's
about?
up. That's what's up, man. Because I know you were busting your ass on that, man. Just trying to make sure
Exactly.
everything was good in the house and all that, man. So I appreciate that. But go ahead and do your thing.
No, bro. Look, man. Y'all don't understand how big of a show this is going to be. I mean, we got some great content here at PNTS Network that I'm going over with y'all. But this Thursday show is going to be explosive. All right, we might have to make some calls, see if we can get Rome Rush on, get whoever we can get on this show for Thursday. That show is going to be the commission show. Brand new format a little bit. We opening up the tent poles a little bit. And that is the big PNTS Network powwow where we talk all things gaming there, but we're going to talk everything gaming, big debates, cloud, PC, console, mobile.
Hey, wait, man. Just imagine a show with Rome Rush,
Yes.
Snow Bunny Gaming, myself,
Yes.
you, Tronny.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? From the Roundtable Podcast with King Thrash and all and them over there, man. Listen
Absolutely.
now. Proper's plays. Just
Yes.
imagine, and maybe even a question mark, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine a show like that, man. Stay tuned. Don't sleep on the commission, y'all. We started that for a
Absolutely.
reason. It's gonna come back, and when it does, I
Woo.
pray for y'all.
Woo! Absolutely. So with that said, that is our lineup of PNTS Network shows at the moment. And again, if you don't know what PNTS Network is, we're a collaboration of podcasters, content creators, streamers. Check us out. Go to pntsnetwork.com where you can see great shows like this and other content from all our contributors there at pntsnetwork.com. We're going through a major facelift with some added goodies as well. You definitely don't want to miss that. So already get acclimated to what we got going, so it'll be a smooth transition. I was about to say transmission.
Man, I like that word though. I like that word for the day, man, because this is what we're doing. We're transmitting right now over the airwaves.
Facts.
So I like that.
Electric air. Yep.
Yes, sir.
So go to pntsnetwork.com. Go check out all of our great content like crispy 4K streams, 8K streams from my good brother Project Storm. all that great stuff.
Or just breaking it down and keeping it real based on the facts and everything. Like my brother
Absolutely.
MM2K, aka Stadia Dosage News, aka MM2 3 point. What the hell, man? How many names you got? I can't keep up with all that. MM3K. What was
3.5.
the, no, it was MM3. I forgot what it was, man.
Yeah,
That you was supposed to be out here. But
3.5
anyway,
instead of
man.
2K, 3.5K. I had to put that on the
Yeah.
back burner a little bit because I ain't work out the way I intended. You know what I'm saying? I was coming, it was a friendly competition. I was coming from my brother. My brother was laughing, like, you think you're going to reach the top of this mountain? He was laughing. I was trying, and I slipped and fell, and I kind of slipped the disc a little bit. So
Well,
I'm
I
in
already knew
rehab.
you wasn't gonna get to that level, man, because I blow stuff up. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of my Rainbow Six stream, I told y'all I'm always trying to blow stuff up, man. I had the 4K chat working; it was hot in the room. I
Oh,
put my equipment and Stadia, especially Stadia, under the most rigorous tests, man. And
man.
and it's been fun. I'll say that much. Stadia has been holding up, man. I cannot defeat the performance and the reliability of Stadia, and we'll talk about that during the show today. I guarantee you. But man,
Absolutely.
Stadia is just it's just a beast. That's all I can say, man. People have concerns, and I'm real quick. They have concerns about Stadia and what happens with the cloud. We'll get into it because we got a lot to talk about. But man, when it comes to Google Stadia, y'all, it's in a whole different league. But
Yes,
we'll get
it
into why
is.
in a little bit.
Well, no, Storm, this is a perfect segue because they're tired of hearing from me, man. What's going on with you, brother? What have you been playing since the last episode?
Well, I started the show off with Street Power Football. Now I'm on something called Moonlighter. I
Oh,
heard people
okay.
say that Moonlighter was pretty good, man. I know about the game. I know about it, but I'm playing it right now as I'm talking. I'm doing my best Nobody Gaming rendition right now while I'm playing and trying to talk and look at the chat at the same time. But before
Yep.
I get into what I've been playing, how about this chat?
Yes, sir.
Because we got Cherry Man Gaming in the building. We got Christopher Torres always working, y'all. Y'all better appreciate Torres for putting that work in out there. Priorities first and still listening in on the show, not missing an episode that I can remember. Damn, Torres.
Absolutely.
I mean, then we got the homie Proto. Proto P is in the building, always stopping through. We got Jim. Jim has been dropping the damn gems out here, y'all. Y'all know it.
Absolutely.
Give it up. Give it up. He has something coming up today if it hasn't kicked off already. The Rainbow Six, I think he's going to be doing. Jim, let us know, man, and definitely drop that link if you want to. But yo, there's some people in the house today, man. Roger's in here, been very active. Roger, I see you out on Twitter, man, doing your thing. I tell you what, man. I remember a time when Roger used to. Roger's like us. Roger says what Roger believes based on the facts. Is
Yep.
what Roger would come out and say something quick, like, "Oh, wait a minute now, wait a minute. We need to do this, or Stadia needs to do this, or whatever." And you might look at it if you don't know Roger, you might say, "Damn, Roger, how come you're so direct, man?" But yo, the brother Roger be dropping some jewels, especially on Twitter. Y'all need to check that out, man. So Roger's in the building right now. We got Cloud Gaming Dad. Shh, man, what can we say
CGD.
about this bro right here? What can we say about the bro? Hope that all is good, man. You know we
Absolutely,
got your back.
CG.
We right behind you, man. And that's what we do. You already know it's the brotherhood over here, man. We're bringing the brotherhood and the sisterhood and all that back to Stadia. That's what our number one goal is. It always has been. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? But more so than ever, y'all. We got Junior Thanos, this brother right here, y'all. And I know I'm not gonna take too long, but Junior's been in the building. Junior's keeping us straight. Junior's like, man, don't come out here with all that extra stuff, man. We want to hear this content. We want y'all to break it down, stay focused. Junior Thanos is gonna get us right in shape, y'all. So if
Yes.
y'all is going off the edge, holla at Junior. He'll get us right. Randy B in the building, man. Damn, MM2K.
Randy.
Big time supporter, man. Have our back,
Absolutely.
bro. When we go through some stuff, you know how good it feels to know that people have our back
Absolutely.
when when we get not attacked, but when we get challenged on certain things, and those people that rock with us every week, man, they have our back on things. MM2K, Randy B is one of those people. That's all. That's all I wanted
Yep.
to say. Uh, we got next. We go hard, man. This dude right here. I don't know why
Knicks.
YouTube. I don't know what's up with YouTube. I
Oh,
mean,
oh, no,
I've
no,
seen.
no,
I
no. Knicks. No, unless did Knicks, did you change your name, bro? Oh, no.
well, it used to be Brooklyn. We go hard,
Oh, okay. He must have changed. No, you know what happened?
which was OG
Because Knicks,
Classic, by the
Knicks was
way.
on hiatus. See, I can't call YouTube on this. Knicks was on hiatus, and when the channel went to a brand channel, we lost all of our mods, remember? But
Yeah,
we
yeah,
brought
yeah, yeah,
everybody
yeah.
back. So Nick's, you back now. I can't get on YouTube for that one, but shout out to Nick's, man. Definitely.
Yeah, that's right. That's the homie right there. We got Ace Cam in the house, man, stopping
Ace.
through. We appreciate you, Ace Cam. We've definitely seen you in the building rocking with us, man. Hopefully you'll come back every show because we need y'all out here. Victor Del Maestro has been everywhere, yo. But he's definitely been tuning into these shows right here. We
Big
appreciate
dog.
Vic, man. We call him Vic. Anytime you got a name like Vic, just simple Vic, man. I mean, damn, that's enough. Do I need to say any more, man? That's OG status. Actuary Stud is in the building. Also, see, if this is my channel, Actuary Stud, man. See, I don't know, man. MM2K, that's up to him. He's at the helm this week, but Actuary Stud has earned the stripes, I think, to
Where's
get that blue
Actuary
tag.
Stud? Yeah, hold on. Yeah,
Actuary
hold on.
Stud
Where's
right here
Act?
under Squids, man. Right
On the
here under
squid.
Squids. And Squids is in the house, y'all. Give us time. We're going to highlight the chat because without the chat, we're just talking to ourselves. And who wants to do that?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah, 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 yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Squid's been doing big things, y'all. Working hard. That's my Zona brother. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the cat too, Zona and all that, man. I don't know the other names, man. Forgive me because Zona just stands out. I think you're showing a little favoritism when you put the cats up, Squid, because Zona is always front and center for some reason, man. But check this out. Squid is about, hey, he just got off of a major long stream, him and Link TV. I saw that these boys put in like consecutive hours, man. I hope you're staying hydrated and being safe out here when we put these hours in, because dang, I can't do what you guys do. You know what I mean? I go an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'm done. All right, but we're gonna go on up and start the show off, man. We got Project Storm in the house. That's a cool dude from what I hear.
He's
G
all right, too.
Millie
He's all right.
got a new computer. G Millie, as we go on
G
through
Millie.
today's show, I want to know about this PC, man. I want to
Yeah.
know if that Windows 11, I know you had an issue or something, or you were the first ones that told me about it. But tell us about this computer as we go through the show, man, or call in and tell me about it.
Yeah.
Caliber Killer is in the house. Unitrix is in the house. Wrong Yeezy. We got to stop the show briefly
Easy.
whenever Wrong Yeezy shows up because he could be anywhere else in the damn world. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But Wrong Yeezy's here rocking with us at Stadia, the land of electric air. Yusuf is in the building, man. We got Ron Slusher in the house, of course, and then Stadia Doses News, man. We're ready to kick the show off, I promise.
Shout out to the homie Jim. Jim, drop the link to your channel, please. In the play, I know you're. Look. Just give me a moment to say this.
Yeah, go ahead. Do that while I play this Moonlighter. You know what I'm saying? I just hit the recommended difficulty and all that, man. So this right here, this is going to be a special show, y'all. We got a lot to talk about. I promise you. You better get your drinks now. You better get your food. You got to get that muffin. You go and make you a bowl of cereal, whatever you got to do. Go and get it. If it's lunchtime where you are, go make you a sandwich or something. Order something, man. Order carry out or whatever. It'll take out. It is what it is today, y'all. There's a lot to be said because people, they don't understand cloud gaming like we do. So one of our main missions here at PNTS Network is that we kind of help, like we dedicate ourselves to helping people understand, man, not being overly aggressive doing so, right? Now, we're not going to be up there like, yo, you better try Stadia. What's wrong with you, homie? What? You got lag. Now, we don't do that. We try to help people. We try to give them reasons why cloud gaming is the inevitable future. And we'll be doing more of that this show. So stay tuned, y'all.
I want to shout out to Jim. Jim, I know you're a humble content creator, but you're really a pillar in the community, doing a lot of great content. We need you to drop that link in this chat, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Stadia Dosage isn't about MM2K and Project Storm per se. We don't mind being the mouthpieces, but the purpose of this channel is to highlight the platform, to highlight discussions about the platform, and highlight the platform, and always give the flowers to the people that are doing great things in highlighting the platform. You're one of those people, okay?
Absolutely.
So we definitely need you. I know you're a humble guy. We love that, but for the people's sake, because the people, they're dying for this, man. We need you to drop the link to that platform on there. And we thank you so much for your support, Jim. Appreciate it.
If you want to, you know what I'm saying? If you want to, do your thing,
And
man. If
we need
not,
the
people know
people
where to
need him.
find. They know
The
where to
people
find
need him to
Jim.
do it. They need him to do it. They need.
Yeah,
I
they
know,
do.
and
They do.
I know that's not his mo, and it's all for good reason. But now more than ever, you know, I mean, because Jim's content. I mean, if for y'all that don't know Jim, and wasn't there at the beginning of him creating content, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jim. You started off, you know, more or less in the Nerd Nest, Stadia Cast, Discord. And from then, he said, you know what, I'm going to start making content because I like this platform as well. Very similar to what a lot of us done here. And the content every day with every video just gets more and more profound.
Man, now you said it right. I was waiting for you to say that because if you didn't say it, I was going to say it, but you're right.
It gets more and more profound, Storm. And people need to see that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, and again, I look at it as a service to the unsuspecting gamer who may not be aware of this stuff. And Jim, again, humble guy. He's not one of those that sits there and says, I'm the best. But Jim, what you do is profound, brother. Definitely drop that link in there so people can see that profound stuff because they need to see it. It's not, and there's a lot of great content creators out there. Jim is definitely one of them. Another content creator I want to shout out is my good brother Cloud Gaming Dad, CGD.
Yes, sir.
Look,
yes,
brother,
sir.
My look, doors always open door policy. You need to rap, bro. Trust me. Hey, look, life hits hard.
Real hard. And you know that more. We both know that more than anybody. Exactly. But when we get out here, we don't want to bring people into our personal bubble on that level. So we try to give y'all the show, but at the same time, stuff is real out here.
Yep.
You know?
Life hits hard, brother. So if you need to rap, man, just give me a call. Just hit me up, man. And this is the thing, CG. What you do is so profound too. Your love for the platform, which is great. That's why this community is great. I wanted to take this time to put this out here because people got to understand how great this community is. You know what I'm saying?
Do your thing.
And it's good that CGD says, you know what, I got to take a step back because it just shows that we're human. And for two, brother, trust me, we're going to keep your seat warm. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
As soon as you're ready to come back, here he goes. So definitely, brother, hit me up if you need to rap or whatever, man. We got this for you. We got this for you, definitely. Take whatever time you need, man. All right, that's enough with my bibble babble, Storm.
Hey, man, let me tell y'all something right now. If you haven't been following MM2K, you know damn well that he shows love, but not like what we just heard, y'all. So that right there, man, MM. Hey, bro, we highlight people all the time, but bro, that right there had to be coming from the heart, man. So damn, I appreciate that one.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it needs to be said, man. It needs to be said. Like I said, this platform, I know sometimes people get caught up in the theatrics and the spitting over the pop filter, me and Storm going back and forth, or me and Storm attacking the notion. But at the heart of this platform is about shining light on people like Jim, CGD, Chariot Man, Rev, Squid, all these people out here that have been rocking out with us or newcomers, because it's all about y'all. Without y'all, there is no us, first and foremost. So we just wanted to get that word out there. Definitely. This is a fantastic community and one that I've been in love with since day one and being part of it. And I haven't, and the honeymoon stage isn't gone yet. So I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, the honeymoon stage isn't gone yet. So, all right. With that said, Storm, I babbled enough. Now I got to pick your brain, brother, because there's a lot of stuff going on here. Let me do this because we got to let people in the disco, as my good brother say, we got to hit up the disco. We got to let the people in the disco know what's going on. But Storm, the big topic today is cloud gaming dead? Is it still not the future? And let me just provide a little bit of background before we get into this all the way. A lot of people have had their doubts about
hold on, wait a minute, don't get into it yet. G Millie said you forgot about him. Now we can't forget about one of our biggest Yappa supporters and callers, man. You know, we can't do it.
No, hey G, I was about to say witness protection. No, I got a PFA out on you, brother. You too wild. As a matter of fact, we blocked your number on the phone. No, I hope we get a G Millie phone call today. G Millie, and let me give a special shout out to my brother. G Millie is one of the look. If y'all don't know G Millie, he's one of the wildest people out there in the world. He's insane. He's nuts. I think my brother should be locked up somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to G Millie. Hey, G Millie, don't put your link in this. No, I'm just messing with you, G Millie.
G Millie is the realest, man. The realest. I'm telling you right now, we might have Magnum PI calling in today, man.
Hey, yo,
you
exactly.
never know who about to call him. You know, anybody could be calling in. Straight up.
Shout out to G Millie. Hey, drop that link in there too, G Millie. Hey, look, man. We might even let Amador drop his link. No, I don't know about that one.
Is Amador in the house?
I don't know. I ain't seen Amador yet. What's going on? We got to do a wellness check on Amador, man, because he's usually.
Man, while we wait for him, real quick, then we'll get into it, y'all. Bulls for Life is in the building. That's Christian Woods, y'all. If you don't know, you know what I'm saying. I like how people keep coming up with these. Their names just evolve like that. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Calvin Morgan is in the building.
Calvin.
Man, who else, man? Anybody that we skip, man? We got is it Samaran? Man, we got look, Roy Martinez is in the house, man.
Roy.
All of you up in here. We're about to start the show, but we need you all. We need your input in this one today because this is very, very important, very serious, man. Let's go to Emma.
Very serious discussion. All right, so I just got a couple more places to hit up real quick, and then because I know when I put it in this one place in the disco storm, we're gonna get a lot. We might get a lot of crazy people hitting up the chat. All right, I think I did it. All right, now let's have a conversation. All right, y'all. Excuse me. So, there's been a lot of debate about cloud gaming recently because there has been a launch of another platform, and we're going to get into that. We talked about that Sunday, but we're going to get into that a little bit more in the show. But there was a big debate after a launch of another cloud platform. After, I don't want to say it fell flat, but it didn't reach expectations. So you got a lot of people on the periphery storm that aren't the biggest fans of cloud gaming, and therefore they say that cloud gaming is dead on arrival. It's not the future. It's a gimmick. All this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
I want to show people what started this whole hoopla. What the hell? Hold on. Let me fix something real quick. I'm sorry, y'all.
Do your thing.
Something on the screen.
We got Amador in the house, man. We got an Amador sighting. You already know what it is. Said just had a long night. Damn. Hey, Amador, we here with you, man. We understand. I hope everything is good today, better than it was last night. That's for sure, man. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. We all go through it. We knew something wasn't right. If Amador is not out here saying something about Stadia, we got to ask for our boy, man. That's our boy right there. He's the only one that could come in here. Matter of fact, it shows that we don't take this stuff. We take it seriously, but we don't take it so seriously that we're ready to cut somebody's throat, man. Like we don't overlook the fact that people have opinions and it might come off as negative. But some of the stuff that Amador says, y'all, it really cracks me up, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you because it's how a lot of the haters, and I'm not saying Amador is a hater, he's tried Stadia or whatever. But a lot of the haters out there, they've never given it, like they repeat a lot of the things that Amador kick in the chat, right? But they've never touched a controller. That's why I really do. I love the fact that Amador can share his thoughts and his opinions, man, and we allow that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because look, not everybody's going to be Stadia lovers, Stadia fans, players of Stadia, whatever you want to be called. Like, it is what it is, y'all. So this right here is going to be one of the most realest show that we've ever done.
We got open 10 here. Now, we may not entertain every single notion. I always use this example, Storm. If I just hop up in a crowd and I say, I'm the Pope. I mean, I might be welcome to be in that crowd, but no one's going to sit there and say, okay, listen, MM2K just popped up and said he's the Pope. Let's address that for several hours. Like there's a fathomable possibility that I'm.
He had a long night in a good way. I take all that back, man. He had a long night in a good way, man. We keep on moving, man. Let's go.
We have an open tent, but what we don't entertain every single notion. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't mean that we don't have an open tent for people to express their ideas. Okay. With that being said, let's talk about this whole cloud gaming thing, man, because there's a lot of people I know that are popping up now that are questioning whether cloud gaming has a future, if it is the future. This started becoming something that surfaced because, again, another cloud platform launched and fell short of the expectations that people have. When I say launch, I know they're still using the word beta, but still, people have to pay to access it. And because it was on certain server blades, people had certain expectations. One of the good people fighting against those negative conversations about it is our good friend David Jaffe, the creator of God of War, if y'all don't know who he is. And he says the problem is, you, in response to something someone says about cloud gaming negatively, he says the problem is you are assuming that input lag will be noticeable to the majority of players. Sure, if that is foundational to your opinion about streaming, you won't find many, and certainly not me, who disagree with you, but that is not everyone's experience with streaming. And somebody had talked about the 400 million Fortnite players that will not want to play with input lag. I gotta say this in response to this, and then I got several questions that we want to see what the chat has to say to this. So I responded this way, Storm, and I'm going to get your thoughts on the whole debate all together, and we're going to hit things specifically. First, I said a portion of these players, Fortnite, via GFN right now, have played Fortnite via GFN right now, and they enjoy the experience. So, and they win games. My son is particularly one of them. He's on GFN all the time. That's his preferred platform. He's on GFN playing this, Apex, Rogue Company. He's all, man, if he doesn't get a W in a game, it's a failure to him. That's how crazy he is. And so again, he's playing through GFN on a Chromebook, wirelessly. So again, we got our thoughts about GFN, but there are a lot of people that do like playing on the platform, and they play it through the least native powerful means. My son is one of them, and they play it all the time. So this whole thought process behind latency and lag being so detrimental on every cloud platform isn't necessarily true. So I attacked that first. Then I said Resident Evil. Rainbow Six Siege just went live on Stadia with Luna PC crossplay with no such complaints. Project Storm can attest to that. And lastly, during test crossplay, I've seen Stadia gamers mop the floor with others on Destiny 2. I was watching my brother Storm and the homie, who was that? That was
Daryl Smock Jr.
That was Daryl Smock.
Linked up Bibbidi Bop, and Now Your Mama Knows. We played. All of us have played, but the crossplay was me and Daryl Smock.
Destroying mugs on Destiny 2 through Stadia when it was cross-played everything. And Storm was calling him out like he was playing pool. Oh yeah, that one's PC, that one's Xbox. Pow, 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 pow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we were picking them up off the floor. They were going down left and right, man. And I'm like, how are the Stadia boys out here picking up these people that can't be all Stadia players because nobody plays on Stadia? Ta-da!
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it couldn't have been Stadia, right? Let's go, though, man.
Exactly. So I say, unless you're a professional esports player, the amount of latency you perceive from the top performing platforms, Stadia, Luna, and whatever else you want to slide in there, will not be a deal breaker. Every day, that infidelity is getting better due to the AI and machine learning. Lastly, to your thesis, I don't know, David, I almost forgot his damn name. To David's thesis.
Yeah, I know.
It will be the future, just not overnight. Any denying that don't have the facts or experience on their side. They are armchair quarterbacking a bunch of misunderstood notations. So let's talk about these misunderstood notations. Storm, what are your thoughts about overall? Is cloud gaming the future? You know, there's the big debate. There was the homie, damn, why I'm losing names today?
I don't know. I know Ron Rush touched on something. That's the homie right
there.
Go ahead,
brother. I'm turning it over to you. I can't think straight. It's all yours.
All right, so let me kick something off real quick. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I just jumped from Street Power Football. I hopped over to Moonlighter. But I said, man, I want to go AAA real quick. So I'm on this Doom Eternal right now, y'all. The game has been patched already after my Xbox Series X and Stadia highlight video that I just did a couple days ago. The
Yep.
game is working flawlessly. There's no texture issues, y'all. And it's running like the best game in the cloud. Now, let's switch tracks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is highly impressive. Like, it's an 11 out of 10 right now, what I'm seeing, y'all. So if you like Doom Eternal, jump on that and see for yourself. Uh, but shout out to Rome Rush, man, Doc Dark, and all these boys out here putting in this work, like making people think on all sides of the fence, not just on their favorite platform side. Like Doc loves the Xbox and Rome loves the PlayStation, right? But check this out. I've been just like a fan eating popcorn in the middle of the whole thing because they're not going at it. It's not a war. It's not
Yeah.
confrontation. These are bros right here. They already put it out there, you know? It made me want to jump into it. So I heavily considered making a video of my own last night, but I looked at the clock and was like, it's 10:30. Nah, because I'll be asleep by 11:30 if I go live. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I got tired, man. So listen. But Rome, for example, he breaks things down because he's a console gamer. He tells you straight up, like, this is what I prefer. PS5, nothing's really touching that right now with the library of games that we got, the track record that Sony puts out there. And who can disagree? Who can disagree with that, right? So, but see, a lot of people, this cloud thing is new. So Rome, man, we've talked about this a couple times on YMYOG. And before
Mm-hmm.
Rome joined me and Bunny, he would be in the chat kicking it. Like, yeah, Storm, I got your point, and I would get his points, and that's how you have a conversation. That's how you spread the word to other people. But Rome has never said, I don't I don't want to see Stadia in existence.
Yeah.
I don't want to see PS Now in existence. No, he said there's an option, there's a place for it all. There's a place for
Mm-hmm.
cloud gaming. See how it now Rome, who has flat out said, you could tell Rome ain't really ready to put no Stadia in his library
Yeah.
of in his rotation of daily gaming. He's just
Mm-hmm.
not ready for that, y'all.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, now there's some things that Rome just doesn't know yet because he hasn't really put the research into this like we have, y'all.
Exactly.
And if Rome is listening, man, he stops through sometimes. So if Rome is listening, I know he'll be able to nod his head like, yeah, Storm, you right, bro. See, some people, they don't, because cloud gaming is not for them, they don't want to put the time into researching it. Mobile
Mm-hmm.
gaming is not for me, but I put hella time into it researching everything about mobile gaming and why people prefer it. And now I understand why it makes up the biggest portion of the market, if I'm not mistaken or whatever, man. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of millions of mobile gamers out there. Like,
Yep.
it's crazy. So so when some people though, here's the problem that I have, MM2K, and why we're having this discussion today, man, is that some people don't really want to take the time to even research cloud gaming, right? Or some people they were like xCloud gamers, like myself. Like, we were waiting for xCloud, for example. And yes, we're going to bring up xCloud. We have to as a part of cloud gaming. How are we going to
Yep.
leave xCloud out of the discussion if we're talking about cloud gaming as a whole? So
Exactly.
some xCloud gamers got their hands on the MM2K, man, and they really were telling the truth. Like, yo, man, I could get down with this, but it's not ready yet. Doc came out there. Doc came out and let us know. Doc Dark 1985. Y'all need to subscribe today if you haven't already.
Shout out.
Came out and flat out said, this brother took a risk. This is how serious it is for Doc. He took a risk. Some people out here feeling like they're gonna get bullied if they play Stadia.
Yep.
My friends might laugh at me if I play Stadia. But this dude, my brother, came out and said, nah, MM2K, I'm gonna take on that challenge, man, that you guys threw out there. You know, I'm gonna get my hands on the controller and I'm gonna try it. He admitted that he went into it not thinking that it was gonna be as impressive as it was. And now Stadia is in Doc's weekly content, man. It's in
Yep.
his weekly content as an avid Xbox supporter. So people like Rome Rush, people like Doc Dark, all of you in the chat, others out here that's listening or lurking or will be listening in the future through the playback or whatever, you know what I mean? VOD. Like, this is why we had to have this conversation today. Some people are out here talking about cloud gaming and feeling like they're threatened by cloud gaming, and they shouldn't feel that way because to some, cloud gaming is an extension, even to NVIDIA GeForce Now. NVIDIA has flat out said, GeForce Now has flat out said, the CEO, I remember us breaking down an article that the way they feel about cloud gaming is that it's an extension to PC gaming. But Stadia is kind of different, y'all. So there's a whole lot of layers to this. There's a whole lot of layers to this that we had to try to break down in one show today. So when the phone lines open later, please, somebody, please call in, man. I don't beg people to call in, but today I am. Please call in and give your takes on this whole thing to let us know that we're not out of context and we're not crazy. Because MM2K, man, cloud gaming is so viable, it's so important to the gaming industry that developers like publishers like Bethesda and EA and Ubisoft, they're already investing in the whole thing, man. Like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, three of the world's most important cloud gaming companies right now, are already into this thing, man. So there's so many different things. I wanna turn it back over to you, but it's ridiculous though, and I understand what David Jaffe is saying out there, because he could see something that the lost, the uninformed can't see. But go ahead.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest mistakes that is made, Storm, is by people, again, like you said, that don't do the research. And again, Storm, I came into this game not knowing a lot. And I had to research. And I get it, we have busy lives, and we like to think that we already know the answers to everything. And I hate to get prophetic here, but when it comes to technology, that's the worst mind state you can have. It's thinking when you wake up, you already got the answers to everything here, now, and in the future.
Right.
I wake up every morning saying, for instance, what can I learn today? Knowing that, okay, my knowledge base may be okay or good or whatever y'all want to call it. However, there's still stuff out there that I don't know. And I need to discover it. When you wake up with that mentality, then it's not a hard press it's not a culture shock gaming wise for you to understand why cloud gaming is the future. The biggest mistake that a lot of people made that I hear in the debates and discussions that are being had is they think that the state of cloud gaming as you see it today is going to be the way that it is in the future. What you see the capabilities of cloud gaming is today, you're not even going to see a year from now. You know what I'm saying? Let alone 3 or 4 years from now. It's going to look completely different. The capability, like it's already uncanny. For instance, Storm, with Stadia. How Stadia, we were dealing with ports. We got a great port in Division 2, but we were dealing with issues like with Avengers, and we were dealing with issues with Far Cry 5, and then other issues with certain Ubisoft games. And just several months later after that, we get a port of Rainbow Six Siege that's like, what? It's like, it's where Doom Eternal is being looked at side by side with Stadia, and people are looking at nooks and crannies and saying, you know what? I'm going to give the edge to the Xbox One X, to where today, my brother Project Storm is showing you that Stadia in its version 1 is competing fidelity-wise with the Xbox Series X, the world's most powerful console as far as Doom Eternal is concerned. I'm not saying it's better, but my brother Storm is showing you comparisons to where, you know what I'm saying, you could do a comparison between the two.
And then right now it's apples to oranges with no ray tracing and stuff like that. Imagine when they implement that, like with something like FSR, like AMD FSR. Yes. We know if Stadia is allegedly based on Vega architecture, which would be upgraded by now. They already said they're upgrading. Then even the Vega architecture, the Vega GPUs can run ray tracing and features like that. So we know this stuff is coming, y'all. That's definitely a fact, because you know why? Google said so, man. Stadia said so. They said they are upgrading already. And when they do it, John Justice, when he was here, he said they won't let us know. But it's all right, because me and Bibbidi Bop and others, we have that magnifying glass. We can tell. We can feel when the performance is being tweaked and tested, man. I'm trying to tell y'all right now. Doom Eternal, real quick, man. Doom Eternal being upgraded to that next gen version blew my mind, because I'm like, here it is. Here's the first official update by a noteworthy publisher and dev team that has upgraded their game for Stadia. I'm talking about for Stadia in a way that was significant, y'all. to the fact that the whole over outlook of the game, like visually, it just changed. And then the speed and performance that was already top flight has gotten far better, far better as far as like the speed, the FPS, the fluidity, and all that stuff, man. It is the experience was identical to the $500 Xbox Series X. And how do I know? It's because I have one sitting right here and I'm looking at it right now. Right? That's why I do these videos, y'all. But you can see it with your own eyes. You don't have to, you don't have to wonder if we're pulling your tail and everything. But I'm sorry, man. Jump back
No,
in.
but Storm, if you could, real quick, because that's a great point. I want to focus on Doom for a little bit because
Oh my
I'm
God.
going to show why in a little bit. But Doom, what even without ray tracing, what were some of the impressive things that we saw with Doom on Stadia compared to the Xbox Series X that we couldn't even imagine a few months ago?
Well, I couldn't imagine that the Stadia version would have any kind of advantage over the Xbox Series X at all. Now, the Xbox Series X won that battle, but
Yeah,
it should because they're already in next gen /
yeah,
current gen now technology, right?
or ninth
They're
gen
already there.
Yeah,
They're in phase. They're in that next gen phase. They're in phase one as well, but they're in y'all get what I'm saying, right? So they
they're in
got all
ninth
this
gen.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, ninth gen, right? They got the ray tracing already implemented and all that stuff, right? Here we go. Now listen. Minus ray tracing, if I were to turn ray tracing off on the Series X version, now that this updated version of the game is out right now, where there's no texture splattering issues and all that stuff, and no shadowing and all that crazy stuff that was going on, that has been fixed in a timely fashion after I made that video. I made it that night, a couple nights ago. Yesterday it was fixed. Yesterday it was fixed, y'all. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying
That's
I'm
crazy,
responsible
brother.
for that, but
That's
sometimes these
crazy.
people they listen to us, man.
Yes.
Sometimes they pay attention to that stuff, right? But it was a hell of a it was a quick turnaround. And I want to say this because I highlighted the flaws of Stadia.
Absolutely.
So if you stop by this podcast, if you stop by any of our shows at PNTS Network, man, you know that we're gonna try to keep it as real as we can. Now we're
Absolutely.
pro Stadia, we're pro cloud gaming, but we definitely
Yes.
love Stadia because we got our hands on the controller, and it's been over since then. MM2K has been over.
This is a
It's
wrap.
it's been over. Hey, I guarantee y'all, if Luna would have came out with performance that exceeds
Oh
Stadia,
yeah. Yeah.
it'll be a different conversation for me every show. I'd be like,
Absolutely.
yo, Stadia is dope.
Yeah.
But Luna has that performance that I like with the ray
Exactly.
tracing, and it runs at 4K and at 120 hertz. Yo, I'll be playing Stadia less. That's not the case though. Right now, Stadia's on top of the world when it comes to performance and all that. And they're getting the games and they're making moves. They're hiring people. We'll get into all that. I promise y'all. But Doom Eternal is the perfect game. It could probably run on your microwave right now, man. Like
Yep.
that's how good the game is. It's well optimized. I mean, for both Vulkan and DX12 or whatever. Like, so it's just a phenomenal game. But that doesn't mean anything if the game can't run well on Stadia, a cloud streaming platform, y'all. We're talking about cloud streaming. I'm able to, I'm able to. I can't talk. You hear me? I can't. How do you fathom this? How can you? Yo, it blows my mind, man, when I think about the fact that a $500 console and a cloud streaming platform, y'all. First, really still kind of new. I mean, very new infancy stages.
Yep.
Can get out here and compete with the world's most powerful console in any form or fashion, y'all. Any
Yep.
form or fashion. And still be running games like PUBG at 4K, up to 4K 60,
Yes.
by the way,
Yes.
with the same or slightly better texturing and all that stuff in the game. You can go out and see that. Don't take my word for it. Cyberpunk. They had to catch up to where Cyberpunk was on release day on Stadia. Y'all, like, this is crazy. So here's the deal. We're talking about the theme of the show, cloud gaming and all that stuff, and how people feel about it. What do they believe in it? What do they say that there's no place for it or whatever? What do they say is not the future? It all ties into that, man. Doom Eternal is one of those games that just should blow your mind. For everybody that owns a copy of it, get on it. Get on it today and see what I'm talking about. You don't even have to be good at the game. Just run around in the game world, see how it feels, see how it looks. And then go watch a video or watch my video, whatever you want to do, of the Series X version of the game. I'm talking about performance-wise, it's there. Now, ray tracing is the thing that really separates it, y'all. The Series X does a phenomenal job with the ray tracing, but imagine when Stadia gets there.
Yep.
But we're talking about cloud again, cloud versus native hardware. That the MM2K, it feels good, man. It feels just like, I'm not talking about almost like, It feels just like
Just
my
like
$500 Xbox Series X and my over $2,000 PC, but I built that thing for as low as I could for about
yeah.
1,800 or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. That's how good Stadia is working. And when we get out here and say, well, Stadia told us this, y'all, they did. They told us, man, we got negative latency that we're working on that's going to be better than native hardware gaming. We have to highlight that because this is going to help those people who are worried or who are confused and who just flat out don't believe that cloud gaming can be on a high level. Now I want to go back to Rome because Rome brought up something, the internet infrastructure, MM2K, he brought that up, right? Good
Mm-hmm.
point. I told him that in the comments section. That's a hell of a point. Data caps, internet
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure and all that. But they're already working on ways to mitigate all of this, y'all. They're
Mm-hmm.
already working on the AV1 with the AV1 codec and all these things in the future to be able to be able to reduce all those concerns, man. They're talking to the networks, like the big internet networks and all that stuff, about ways to deliver this performance at less of a hit to your bandwidth every month and all that, man. So what that's gonna look like, we'll see. But what I'm impressed by the most is how well Stadia works right now, man. It's crazy.
Yep. When it comes to Doom Eternal, and what Stadia is capable at right now, without any ninth gen offerings, it really doesn't have any ninth gen offerings. I mean, it came at the latter end of eighth gen with already the fast loading because you ain't got to worry about
SD.
the booting and all that other stuff. But it really
Right.
doesn't have ninth gen offerings at the moment. I don't want to call it an eighth gen. I don't want to put it in a console generation type description because I think that doesn't accurately look at cloud gaming. Cloud gaming, when it's purely cloud gaming, belongs in no generation description. I think what people do though is they use consoles and the capabilities of the consoles at time as a litmus to compare to what a particular platform can or cannot do, and that's fair. So when you look at ninth gen console offerings, Stadia isn't even there yet, and it's already got comparable fidelity, comparable performance, and all that other stuff in its building phase, right? So that's great to talk about. But I want to bring up something that is key from the actual developers of Doom Eternal. This is something, and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, Storm. We brought this up in our conversation with our good friend Ace from Cloud Gaming Extreme. Definitely check
Shout
them out.
out.
I think they're going to go live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time of the day, if I'm correct. Definitely check
Yes,
them
they
out.
are.
I brought this up brought this up in our conversation with Ace. But this came from Stratton, who is the head of ID. I think his name is Mark Stratton or Martin Stratton, whatever. But Stratton brought this up to an Italian publication in regards to not just xCloud, but to Stadia. And this was done March 18th of this year. This is well after the purchase or the intended purchase of Bethesda from Microsoft. And we already know that they're in a contentious battle over the cloud and overreaching the 2 billion gamers. So unless this is true, Stratton has no reason to even bring this up. But Stratton says, as far as Stadia, I'm convinced that we are still only scratching the surface of the future of video games. For me, streaming will be a fundamental method of distributing titles in the coming years. New technologies. It always takes some time before they can be fully established, but there is nothing in what Stadia or xCloud are doing that will prevent them from becoming a concrete reality sooner or later. So here's the thing. Me and Storm can sit here on the mic with our old Milwaukee, and we can tell y'all we the Pope all we want and stagger over each other and throw up all over the floor. We can tell you whatever we want. But when it comes to technology, you gotta refer to the experts. Stratton is an expert. The analysts are experts. We may not understand the technology on the surface because we're used to dedicated device technology. You just got to get out of your comfort zone and do this research. But for someone who is behind the studio that created such a very great, a game with great fidelity that can perform on a soup can, as Storm has alluded, to say this about Stadia and cloud gaming in general when he has no incentive to bring up Stadia whatsoever, speaks volumes. And this should be a wake-up call, knock on the top of the head that, hold on, maybe I do need to take the approach that MM2K brought up. Maybe I need to start waking up and saying, what can I learn instead of armchair quarterbacking? A lot of you guys and gals that are listening on the other end of this microphone, y'all don't even know 10% of what the capabilities of cloud gaming is, what this particular phase is. And a lot of it is because y'all think that cloud gaming today is going to be cloud gaming in the future. Again, Stratton says, streaming will be a fundamental method of distributing titles in coming years. New technologies. It always takes some time before they can be fully established. That's where he's talking about the AI and machine learning that's part of cloud gaming that a lot of you don't even understand. Y'all didn't realize that that's part of it. That's why you're saying a lot of these things that you're saying out here, out in the public. But understand that if you wake up, take off the armchair quarterbacking hat and say, okay, this is a new technology. Let me learn about it. May not be for me right now. May not ever be for me. But will it be a critical part of gaming? Now I can see how. Now the blinders are off. But a large part of that, Storm, is not only because they think that cloud gaming in 2021 is going to have the same capabilities in 2023, which is far from false, as we just talked about using Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal has drastically improved on Stadia just in a few months. But Storm, let's talk about one of the biggest talking points that they're using right now. On Live. They say On Live was here a while ago. It was out in 2011. They said it was the future then, and it failed. So therefore, all of other cloud gaming is going to fail. Storm, just from your thoughts off the top, why do you think using On Live as a comparison to what these platforms are doing now is not a great comparison?
I laugh, man, and I don't apologize for laughing because this sounds ludicrous, man. It sounds ludicrous.
Yeah. Ludicrous.
Check this out. Here's the difference. And I'm just going to be short and brief about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
On Live, back when it was on Live, it was dope. Mm-hmm. I had it. Played a lot of games like Batman. One of the Batman games and all that was the first game I tested. I was out there kicking ass then. Yep. Right? It wasn't a perfect experience, but it made me open my mind to the possibilities of cloud gaming in the future when a company like Google, Microsoft, or Amazon could come out here and back cloud gaming the way that only they can. It made me think about that, MM2K. Fast forward to here we are in 2019, and then that vision came to a realization, man. So here's the difference. Stadia is kicking ass and taking names, best in the world, world-class cloud gaming, data centers, infrastructure, cutting-edge technology, and all that. On Live was just ushering in the way for Stadia to do so. You get what I'm saying? So shout out to On Live. We need to respect On Live for what they did. Hopefully they could, Stadia could reach out to them and say, look, man, hey, we appreciate y'all being the forefather or whatever. Let's integrate some of y'all ideas in the Stadia. What can we do here? Something like that would be awesome, right? So here's the deal. I want to repeat this one more time, and then I'm going to go back to that Doom Eternal that we keep talking about. One of my greatest, the king of ports, is back to being the king of ports, man. The KOP is Doom Eternal. Rainbow Six and all that is dope. Division 2, all that is top flight right there. Mm-hmm. But I got to get that king of ports title back to Doom Eternal after the update, the next-gen update. So, Doom Eternal, you can't even compare it with xCloud. I want y'all to stay with me. I'm about to get into my bag, man. Get the fans out, Get the ushers, man. Get the ushers. Tell them to come over here, give me a cold drink. You skeptics and haters and all that, listen, please. Imagine that you can't even compare Google Stadia's performance to xCloud, PS Now, Luna, GeForce Now, All right, I won't throw Shadow in there because Shadow is running on dedicated PCs and they're doing a good job up
Mm-hmm.
to 4K and all that, from what I understand. I was hitting 4K fidelity and all that, right?
Yep.
So I got to leave Shadow out of this one. But the other ones, I can't even compare Doom Eternals 4K 60 up to 4K 60 gameplay and experience that I have on xCloud because it can't hit that yet. Luna,
Mm-hmm.
it can't hit that yet. GeForce Now, it can't hit that yet. PS Now, it just can't hit it. So I have to bring Stadia down to compete. You get what I'm saying? I have to handicap Stadia to even the playing field. Now I know some people might say, "What about the texture storm? You can turn the textures up on the other ones, though. That's cool and all that, but the stream is still in certain cases 1080p, man.
Yep.
So it's gonna look like on my TV, where a lot of gamers are gonna be playing, right? Some people are gonna be using devices, but from what I'm understanding, for some Wi-Fi phones work fine. For the majority, they're complaining about this way to play right now because that needs to catch up a bit, in my opinion. Which is why I play on my desktop, Ethernet connected, and all that stuff. So I would advise anybody trying to service for the first time, if you can, because you wouldn't play your console at 720p when it can hit 4K. You wouldn't handicap your console that you paid $500 for. So why would you do Stadia that way? Plug it into the Ethernet jack or whatever, hook that thing up, optimize it, make sure that you play it at its very best, and then you could give a fair criticism of the performance and all that stuff, man, when we're talking about Stadia versus the rest. Now, so I just want to throw that out there, MM. I had to compare Stadia to my $500 beast, the Xbox Series X. I had to
Mm-hmm.
compare it to my RTX and powered PC that I built, man. This is what I had to compare Stadia to. And yes, it loses to the PC right now because MM just told y'all, just reminded y'all, this is Stadia. Stadia is just in, what did you call it? Level 1, Gen 1? What
Yeah.
you call it?
This is just part. This is just phase one.
Phase one, phase one, phase one. Now keep this in mind. PC's been out forever. Older than some of you in the chat. Older than
Mm-hmm.
me. You know what I'm saying? They've been out forever. Older than MM2K. I know y'all think my brother's 95, but my
Close
brother
to
is
it.
younger than me. My brother is younger than me, believe it or not. And I ain't no damn dinosaur. You know what I'm saying? We just been around for a while. We've been blessed enough,
Yes.
lucky enough that we survived to reach the age that we are, man. Here we
Yep.
go. So, but y'all, you hear what I'm saying? I have videos showing this stuff, man. Some people don't even want to put out the videos. And I be
Yeah.
begging them, like, please show me,
Please
man.
just show the
I be going
videos.
to people's channels trying to find out. Shout out to Cloud Gaming the Stream and other people that's not afraid to highlight xCloud and all that stuff, man. Even their flaws. So I had to go and look around at places like that to find content, man. But we got all these millions of gamers, man. Some of them on Game Pass. And I know we're not gonna turn this into that battle, but this is reality, y'all. Come on, man. Like this is reality. So we I can't even find the millions of gamers that's on Game Pass hyping it up every week. They can't even get out there and collectively show xCloud gameplay, man. And if they do, they're like, yo, it's not ready yet. It's beta. It's beta. It's beta. It's beta. It's beta. It's beta, though. It's beta. You got to look at the fact Project Storm MM2K in chat is beta. See, what had happened was it's beta. I'm like, okay, all right, okay. Yeah, Stadia was in beta, but then it came out so damn quick
Mm-hmm.
that we don't even know how that was possible. So save your griping and your stories or whatever about beta and all that, man. Whatever. Yeah. One day it'll get better. But are you gonna wait for that to play Halo Infinite? You gonna wait for that technology to evolve to try Halo Infinite on xCloud at an enjoyable level? Because right now, overall, you're seeing people on Twitter they're just saying, I mean, Charles just said what he said in the chat, y'all, earlier, right there, man. I can't even read it. It might make somebody mad. They might look for me, man. So people are giving their experience. Ray Sherrod. I don't know where Ray is today, but Ray and
No,
others are
Ray's
giving
here.
their.
He's
Oh,
right.
Ray is in the
He's
building.
here.
I got to scroll
Uh-huh.
up now, man. Dominicano, I see him down there though. But see, Ray Sherrod and others have given their take on it. It's not that they hate xCloud, man. They don't hate Luna. They don't hate PlayStation Now. None of us do. This is cloud gaming. We need it all, right? We need
Yep.
it all. But if you must have Vaseline on your glasses if you can't see that Stadia is out here mopping the damn floor with the competition as far as like the potential of cloud gaming, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is holding that torch, like I say, and showing people that hey, forget what you saw on xCloud. You need to check out Stadia and see what Stadia is doing, and then and then you'll see the potential of the cloud and all that stuff, man. So I know people keep talking about Stadia and their shortcomings. The games are not there, the closure of SG&E and all that. They got to talk about that stuff, man. People have moved on to now where's Stadia going to be in 3 years? Well, Stadia wasn't supposed to last 6 months at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but in 2 years, we'll see where Stadia is. 3 years, you know what I'm saying? We're hearing stuff like that now a lot. What is it, y'all? They were dead. They lost SG&E. They closed that out, even though we know why that was a smart move. Man, I don't know, MM2K, man. Don't get me started in here, bro.
So a lot of people, and I see a lot of stuff out here in the chat, man. Great stuff as well, and culmination of what Storm is saying. I feel that a lot of people make the comparison to on live again because they saw that on live didn't work, and they think that these cloud platforms of today are as capable as on live, and because they're as capable as on live, that cloud gaming will not grow and mature. I'm going to show everybody something. So again, this is when you wake up. When you wake up every day.
Uh-oh.
I had to come out a song sometime.
Here it is.
When you wake up and you say, what can I learn today? Instead of thinking you got the answers to everything, because you don't. You ain't got the answers, Sway. You don't.
Uh-oh.
Look at this article on the screen. On Live Lost, how the paradise of streaming games was undone by one man's ego. Former staffers told The Verge that though Steve Perlman was a technical genius behind On Live, his ego was the company's undoing. This explains to you what happened with On Live. I need y'all to bear with me because there's a decent chunk here. I'm not going to read everything. It's a long article, but check it out from The Verge. It really breaks down everything. This is now looking at what On Live has done after the fact. If you ask employees, they can point to a number of reasons why paying users didn't come. Number one, broadband in the United States is fickle. It was fickle back then. And even households with a good connection, if one family member started up a YouTube video, that could disrupt the other's game. Within those bandwidth constraints, the service streamed games at a compression 720p resolution on par with consoles, but which didn't look as good as titles rendered by a proper gaming PC.
Whoa.
Now, let's stop right there. That's not Stadia's problem. That's not even Shadow's problem. Hey, we can argue that's not even PlayStation Now's problem.
No, it's not.
It won't be Luna's problem, and eventually it won't be xCloud's problem. But with Stadia right now, we know. We had the former dad from Initiative come out there who can't get a console, and he worked for Xbox. Who came, and I ain't got that link. I should have had that one up there. He came out and said,
hold up. We're going to talk about that too, that console availability stuff. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, he's even said that, hey, look, I can't get a console, but this 4K gameplay of Stadia, which isn't in its 9th gen phase yet, of Resident Evil 8 is fantastic. He went and celebrated it. That's probably why he had to go, because 2 weeks later it was gone. He probably had to go after that. So we're not talking about a situation where back in 2012 or 2011, 2010, if my son boots up a YouTube video, even at 480p, it's going to disrupt my game and I can't even get 720p and I get all this artifacting. That does not happen now with cloud gaming because in a lot of ways, the average internet is good enough now and performs well enough to where somebody can watch a YouTube video and you don't get any buffering or anything at all. I attest to that. I had crappy 50 up, 50 down internet when I first got Stadia. My first stream of Destiny, my wife was watching 4K Hulu. My son simultaneously was watching a 4K YouTube video. I was playing Destiny 2 1080p. No problem whatsoever. So the technology is different now. But I'm going to continue on, Storm. That could have alienated early adopters whom the company relied on for positive word of mouth. Again, you have a lot of positive word of mouth about Stadia and other platforms because they perform fantastic. It's different. Despite these and other limitations, game publishers insisted on charging a similar MSRP, very similar to what you got going on now, which really ain't the end of the road. But back then, you can imagine where DRM was such a bad thing, it almost hurt Xbox exponentially. I mean, it almost hurt them to close. I don't want to say close the door. Well, yeah, it almost hurt them to the point to where Saatchi was going to sell them off. The whole DRM thing. This is 2012. Now in 2021, we got a PlayStation 5 that ain't nothing but DRM because it's all digital and people accept it. It's the number one, it's part of the number one selling console family out there today as far as ninth generation consoles are concerned. It's 2-1 outselling its competitor, the Xbox Series console. You know what I mean? But there's digital DRM consoles out there right now. But above all, now this is where the rubber hits the road. Where again, y'all gotta stop acting like y'all know this stuff without doing your research. This is detrimental to your knowledge base. And at the end of the day, Storm and I gotta do shows like this to make y'all look silly. But above all, OnLive failed to secure the most important reason that gamers migrate to a new platform. Top tier games. Electronic Arts, Activision, the two biggest video game publishers, were no shows on OnLive. Negotiations failed with Bethesda, maker of the wildly popular Oblivion and Skyrim role-playing games, and Valve, which makes Half-Life 4, Left 4 Dead, Team Fortress, and Portal. Why did those things fall apart? The thing is, listen, Electronic Arts was actually on board, it continues. Former staffers told us Mass Effect 2 and Dragon Age Origins were ready and would have launched day one if it wasn't for Steve Perlman. Here's what happened. At GDC 2009, when OnLive revealed itself to the world, a rival named Gaikai did the same behind closed doors. And when Gaikai CEO David Perry came by the OnLive booth to greet his competitor, Perlman started screaming at him. Ah! On June 17th, 2010, the day OnLive launched, Gaikai announced a multi-year deal with Electronic Arts. Perlman received the news in OnLive booth at E3 2010. He went ballistic, one witness recalls. He had to slam the conference room shut and cranked up music so people wouldn't hear him. Perlman told EA he wanted exclusivity, even though Gaikai only offered game demos via the web rather than fully playable purchases. When EA refused, Perlman offered his staff to remove all EA titles from OnLive.
Wow.
Now, with all that said, Storm, in contrast, we got Stadia doing the complete opposite. They went and said, you know what? Instead of wasting money on trying to develop games that won't come to fruition for years. Yep. Jade Raymond told you, our Breath of the Wild ain't coming for 5 years. Instead of doing that, they realized the mistake of OnLive and said, we got to get the EAs, the Bethesdas and all them on board. So we got to make that happen now. And that's what they're doing now in contrast to OnLive. So now what we know of OnLive's failure, because it says here, above all, that was at the root of OnLive's failure, not securing the big games, but Stadia's trying to secure the big games. How foolish, Storm, does it sound that people are trying to equate what's happened with OnLive with Stadia in your eyes?
Sounds very foolish. You just broke it down, man. Nobody brings up the facts and stuff like you, MM2K, man. I'm sorry, man. I just had to put it out there. So here's the deal, though. I want to touch on something else. As I play The Dark Side Detective on Google Stadia right now. A game that I looked at the art style and originally said, nah, man, I can't go back to this 8-bit, 6-bit, whatever stuff, man. But let me tell y'all something. Don't judge a book by its cover. Like right now, I'm over here and Detective McQueen is up here talking about, like he said, Busty Bell's Booty Boutique. I'm like, damn, so right there, they got me already wrapped into the game because they get wild up in here, man, or something, right? But for the people that's played this game, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know too much about it, but we're having fun today, and I'm playing games behind the scene, man. But look, let me exit the game for a minute to get into this one. So we just said how OnLive paved the way, but OnLive, due to the ego of the CEO and so the internet infrastructure at the time and all that stuff, it just didn't pan out, man. But we're talking about Google Stadia today. That's showing y'all reasons why it competes with the world's most powerful console as far as like performance goes. And I'm not talking about overall visual quality and textures and stuff, right? I'm talking about just getting into a game and being able to play on multiple devices. And don't even talk about how we'll talk about that later too. Y'all know it's coming up at some point where we'll talk about how more gamers just got their hands on Stadia. And we're looking at a certain number, which is 50K, but MM2K, I think it was way more than that because I had performance issues like crazy at the time, around the time when Rainbow Six was about to drop, man.
Yep.
Like crazy. You don't understand what I'm saying? Like crazy. And then it smoothed out, and then Doom Eternal was fixed after that and all that. So now, oh man. But anyway, let's get back on track. I think people are worrying about the wrong things. I think they're really worried about they keep taking one company's mishap or whatever and thinking that's just the way of life for every company, man. They're forgetting that Google is the same company that has that world-class search that made it engine or whatever that made it so popular and all that stuff. It has some of the most cutting-edge technology for cloud, Google Cloud and all that stuff, man. They already have the Argos that they're talking about. You see what they're about to do to boost YouTube, like uploading videos and all that stuff, man. This company, you heard about the quantum computing.
Yes.
That Google is up there. Come on, man. They have their hands
Negative
in quantum
latency.
computing. Negative latency. I mean, come on, man. All of this stuff interests me alone. If there was no Stadia, I would still be interested in what the hell Google had cooking up. Yes. Because, man, this is who we're talking about. Yes, Microsoft is up there too. But, man, we're talking about gaming. Yes. We're not talking about Windows 11. We're not talking about everything else that makes Microsoft so great, and Amazon with their Prime Day sales and all this good stuff and all of that, man, and their AWS and, you know, their great great delivery service for Prime members and all that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the damn games, man. And when we talk about these games and the cloud performance and all that stuff in cloud gaming, we got to stick to that script. Cloud gaming. We're not talking about, yeah, but my console does it better. I have your console right here in my crib, and it don't do everything better. Yeah. I can tell you a lot of things it does, but when it comes to gaming, Stadia, when it comes to captivating me as a gamer, man, it impresses me, man. Stadia does. It really does. Now, again, I'm not saying that Stadia outperforms the Xbox Series X, but it outperforms the Xbox Series S in a lot of ways, y'all. That I can say safely. I could say that, even though I don't own one, I could say because I had to compare this thing to the Series X. But it's just so much going on, man. But we talk about consoles, right? Let me get into some reasons, if you don't mind. I want to throw out a few reasons why cloud gaming is inevitably going to be the future, right? Yep. Can I do that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Brad Sams, shout out to Brad Sams, man. Y'all know who he is by now, man. And we're not going to throw this on the screen or anything, but Brad Sams, I'm going to send you to this video, and I want you all to check it out. It's called Bad News for Xbox Console Gamers, I think. Let me see. Bad News for Xbox Consoles. That's what it's called. 2 days ago. 27,000 people checked it out. 27,000 people checked that out. Chat. How many times have y'all heard the same people that drag Stadia talking about this? The shortage of Xbox consoles that's about to go into 2022, and they don't know where, they don't know when. And Xbox gamers, I love Series X, y'all. I love it. But we're talking about cloud gaming, and we're talking about availability and stuff like that, because some of these things come up, man, like, yo, man, y'all ain't got no games, though.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't have this and that. I'm like, yo, man, a lot of your ecosystem don't even have the damn console yet. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. We had to put things into better perspective around here, y'all. Like sometimes we just have to stop what we're doing and really think, man. We really have to let it sink in. Like last night, I almost went live with a video that I thought was gonna, you know, inject myself into Rome Rush and Doc Dark's conversation, man. I thought
Mm-hmm.
about it. I said, yo, I want to make sure everything is running, make sure this Doom Eternal is looking good because I downloaded a video. I was gonna have some crispy Stadia gameplay running in the background and everything just to show, like, look, man, this is Stadia right here, y'all. What about xCloud? What about PS Now? Stadia is on a different level. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad I didn't do that, yo, because them boys, they that's like playing with fire right there. When you come out there, you have a discussion with Doc Dark 1985 and Rome Rush, you got to be ready. But here's the deal. Bad news for console gamers, y'all. These consoles are still trickling out in short supply. Now, I gotta say, Sunny Cloud Gaming got to shout out my brother. We do so
Mm-hmm.
much because Sunny just beat Sunny something else, man. So Sunny said facetiously in one of his videos, it was just a joke. It was just a joke.
Mm-hmm.
He said something along the lines of, "That's why you can't get the series consoles right now because they're in the damn server blades for XCloud." Hey, now Sonny is not the only one that said that. I thought about that before. It made me
Mm-hmm.
laugh like MM2K is doing when I heard Sonny say that. But now think about it. I want to stop. I want to pause for 30 seconds, and I want y'all to really think about what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
Your gamers that love Xbox so much, like myself, they can't even get their damn hands on the console. But you just
Wow.
told the whole damn world, hold on, hold
Wow.
on. I promise I'm gonna try to be good. You done told Phil Spencer himself that MM2K keeps talking about, man. That don't think sometimes before he says things, man. He just told the whole damn world, the whole planet, Earth, that they put a lot of these damn consoles in the cloud.
Mm.
And if you were an Xbox gamer at that point, you like, oh damn, Phil. You mean to tell me y'all put all these Xbox Series X's and S's in the cloud and they're not even performing that well? Get the hell out of here, man. Get the hell out of here. Now, I know that just hurt some people's feelings right there. I'm sorry. But when you talk about the facts, when people said Stadia was dog shit, it was trash and all that, we took that on the chin. I'm sorry. We took that. We had to take it on the chin. Am I right, MM2K?
Yep.
Chat? Am I right, y'all? We took that. We got dragged out there in the streets, man. Some of us, we're used to fighting. You know what I'm saying? Some of us used to be in fights when we were younger and all that. You know what I'm saying? Some probably got in a fight last week. We're used to fighting the dumb stuff, and now we're having a show like this today for the real cloud believers, for the people to get their hands on the damn products, man, and then give their opinion. Not following MM2K because he said Stadia is the best. I don't give a damn what you just said, MM2K, but let me get that controller in my hand myself. Yeah, I heard they
Exactly.
got this blue one for founders. I want
Facts.
that one. That's the best of the
Facts.
best. I want it. So that's what I did. And boy, look at me now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on top of the damn cloud gaming world with Stadia. Now, who wants to argue with that? Come on, call up. What's the number, MM2K? Do you have the number readily available for the people later on when they get ready to call in? Because
Yes,
I
we
want to
do.
go at it. I feel like going at it with anybody that want to call in today on that. Let's get it.
Now, Storm brought up something important, and it's time for everybody to understand this. What we do here is we don't try to force you into something subjective. Whatever
Nah.
you like, what you like. If you like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? If you think On Live was the best and better than anything that's out there right now, all right, fine, that's with you. We're not here to force you on any subjective ground because what you like is subjective. It's opinion. It's subjective to you. But what we do here is we give you the facts. You're gonna get the facts here. We're not trying to force you into any
Nah, at
purchasing
all.
decision. We are just trying to let you know that you may have heard a whole bunch of this, but here's the reality. And this is what we're going through today. Y'all may have heard that Stadia performance is bad and what you saw from xCloud is a resemblance of Stadia and cloud gaming in general just hasn't improved from On Live. That's false. and on live failed for the same reasons that these or better yet, all these cloud gaming platforms have the same issues that on live had, so they're going to fail too. That's false. That's false. All right. There are some that do things better than others. We're going to get into that shortly, but understand that what happened with On Live, even though On Live was groundbreaking in many ways, those issues don't exist. You don't have a CEO that's jealous that a game is elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? And throwing fits at E3. You don't have that. You have Stadia and other people trying to ensure that they get you as many games as possible on their platform, just through their platform, right? So you don't have issues with somebody getting online and broadband being fickle, quote unquote. A lot of people say, well, broadband isn't great. It isn't great. Last time I checked, there isn't no Netflix was doing fine as far as subscribers, and if you go specifically with gaming, Fortnite, the top 20 games are predominated with games that you can only play online. You know what I'm saying? So if Fortnite is doing well, and Rogue Company is doing well, and Overwatch is doing well, Rainbow Six Siege is doing well, and those predominate the top games being played, I think online gaming is fine. The fact that, what is, I don't know what the numbers are, 46% of people in the US don't have broadband internet, that's not stopping Fortnite. You understand what I'm saying? So all these myths that you heard before just don't hold weight. What I do want to highlight though, Storm, real quick and get your thoughts on, is a lot of people say that cloud gaming maybe, because what we argue, Storm, and I want to throw this up here real quick. This is an article from NASDAQ. I always bring this up, and it talks about, again, these are facts that we're going to get into. While cloud gaming is currently a minuscule part of the video game industry, its scope could be huge. Today, video game engages around 2.8 billion people, and this number is expected to exceed 3 billion by 2023. Over time, the number of gamers and the amount of time spent playing games has increased. According to another estimate, the global gaming market is expected to reach a value of 256.97 billion by 2025. Now listen to this. By 2027, it's expected to reach 7.24 billion as far as the cloud gaming market size is projected. So even though cloud gaming is growing rapidly, it's a small part of the cloud gaming infrastructure. So it's the future. It may not be what's all-time hitting right now. Doesn't mean that the capabilities are small. We know Storm shows you every damn day that platforms like Stadia and others in the future can do a lot of great stuff with fidelity, latency, all that stuff. That being said, it's going to take time for it to grow, hence why it's going to be the future. But a big argument, Storm, I want to get your thoughts on this. A big argument is, well, these cloud platforms talk too big. Stadia came at the GDC and talked about it being the 10.7 teraflops higher than the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One X, and we didn't see it in fidelity. You know, Xbox was talking about. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think that's a fair assessment that at GDC, a game developers conference, that Stadia shouldn't have said any of those things that it said? It should have been super humble, all this stuff. What are your thoughts on all this? Did they talk too big early?
Man, I don't think they talk too big. Let me throw some things out there. Y'all want to show we got y'all today. All right. So a friend of mine brought up something very, very spooky, right? Very spooky, as Bunny would say. Friend of mine, and he might be on this panel with me, said something along the lines of, man, we had a discussion about Doom Eternal, right? We talked about that earlier in the show. Doom Eternal was one of the games that sparked the whole controversy about what Stadia could do and what they, Google lied and Stadia lied and all this stuff, right? But man, what if Stadia was capable of running that game at native 4K and then all of a sudden because the game was coming out on Xbox and PlayStation. They had to
Mm-hmm.
pump the brakes and hit some parity on us, y'all.
Yeah.
1800p across the board, or that's
Mm-hmm.
it.
All of a
We got to
sudden.
do 1800p. You know what I'm saying? I think about stuff like that. That might not be the case. That might not be the case. I'm just telling y'all what I think about, right? Then you had Stadia out here running games like Destiny 2 and PUBG at higher performance levels than both the Xbox One X that I had at the time. Got videos on my channel. Check them out. They're hot. I had the PS4 Pro as well. Made some videos on my channel. Check them out. They're hot. So I think I know a little something about what I'm talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why I be wanting them callers, man. Callers, y'all gotta call up today. I'm giving
Yep.
y'all full permission, man. Come up here and tell me where I'm capping at. Tell me where I'm wrong. I'm up here showing y'all what Stadia is doing and doing better than, at the time, both world's most powerful consoles, MM2K. Y'all got to stay with me, man. Y'all don't be paying attention, man. That's why I be ready to walk out the damn set. Y'all don't pay attention to what I be saying when I be saying it, man.
Yep.
Obviously, because if you did, you'll be sounding like me out here.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, PUBG was up to 4K 60. Destiny 2 was up to 4K 60. I mean, should I say more at that time, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Doom Eternal came out 1800p with the world's most powerful console after all the 4K 60 hoopla, man. Still, 1800p upscaled to 4K.
Yep.
Running on Stadia. The one that was talking about 10.7 teraflop GPU and all that, which we're probably seeing because you know this stuff takes time to kick off when you buy a next-gen console. Don't you have to wait to see those games like God of War and all that? Don't you have to wait a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to wait a little bit to see the Ratchet and Clank and all that, which is a phenomenal game, y'all. Didn't you just have to wait? You didn't get it on launch day, did you? Nah, you got upgraded Spider-Man, PlayStation fans on launch day. Let's be for real. It's not just beat Xbox up or beat PlayStation up, but these are the facts. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, you got to revamp one of my favorite games of all time that I never beat, but the what's the hard ass game from Software, man? Demon Souls, man. You got to remake a Demon Souls. You got some stuff like that. That's cool. Those are powerhouse games and all that, man. I'm not taking anything away from them, but what I'm saying is Stadia was out here hitting the ground, outperforming both of the world's most powerful consoles at the time, y'all. Now that right there is how I feel about it, MM2K. That's how I feel about that whole conversation because no, Stadia didn't lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they had technology in place that was more powerful at the time, and we might see that coming to light right now with Doom Eternal, like I was just talking about. The reason it looks so goddamn good and the reason it runs up there is in the same discussion with the Series X version, minus ray tracing.
Yep.
But ray tracing for a lot of console games like Watch Dogs Legion and others, it degrades the performance in the FPS category, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there's a 120 hertz mode. When I booted up Doom Eternal, there was a 120 frames per second mode on my Series X. But I couldn't hit that with ray tracing, though. You see what I'm saying? So there's compromises across the board is what my point is, right? When we're talking about compromises and what can happen. The fact that Stadia was up there in that conversation is crazy in the first damn place. We're talking about streaming. We're talking about how YouTube degrades quality, streaming video degrades quality and all that. But here I am talking about, damn, this look good. Division 2. We up here praising Division 2 for the graphics, fidelity, and all that stuff, saying, damn, it looks better than on my console at the time and all that. But y'all telling me that Stadia wasn't capable of hitting that performance, man. Now, it was up to the developers. Stadia was nice about it. They were trying to get the devs on their team. They forming partnerships. They keep telling us over and over they're forming partners. MM2K, I'm schooling you today, ain't I? Ain't I? I'm schooling you up here agreeing with me. Hey, you up here, you agreeing too much. So I know I'm schooling you today, bro. You wasn't expecting this.
Hey, look, man, I thought that Stadia just was performing like on live, brother. So you got to hit me with the he, man. I thought it was still...
man. We are talking to the people about why cloud gaming is the future. If we don't get out here and show our strengths right now, we're doing the people a disservice, man.
Absolutely.
So let me rock if you don't mind. Let me rock.
Absolutely.
All right. So now that we know that, we got that out of the way. Then we looked at the fact that, the console gamers thought that Stadia was coming to kill them based on, the teraflops and the fact that they showed PS4 Pro. No, they was just trying to give y'all an estimate of what the performance could be like in a new cloud gaming service. Something that you had never seen before. That's what shook up the world. It shook up the industry, man. They'd never seen this before, so I give them a pass. I give them a pass in them 2K. They had never seen anything like what I experienced on Stadia just now, and what I've been playing for the last since November 19th. Well, November 21st, because I didn't get my code on time.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da! You know what I'm saying? So check it out. When we're talking about cloud gaming and all that, right? You're talking about things like traditional hardware expenses, how they add up, right? Consoles. They keep talking about y'all Stadium's dumb. Y'all about to sign up. Now, listen to how they sound. This is how they sound, y'all, because they don't think logically. You guys are signing up for a free service. It's free 99. You won't even have to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to buy your games again.
Mm.
I say, hold on, console gamers. Hold on for a minute, console gamers. Yo, not only do you got to buy your game again, the next gen version on certain platforms, hey, you got to buy the console to go with it, my dog. Yep. You got to spend $500, $400, $299. Yep. You got to spend those kind of figures to even get in the door to play at a level that Stadia is on right now, brother. Mm-hmm. What is you out here talking about? Now, what are you talking about? We're going street with it. What is you out here talking about, man? What is y'all out here talking about? You got to, not only do you got to have a TV to take advantage of all that, you got to pay all this out of pocket. Whereas Stadia's out here saying, look, man, we going to hook y'all up with the most consumer-friendly, budget-friendly way to play games, y'all. We ain't trying to be the best, most powerful in the world. We're trying to get a lot of gamers who's been talking about one day I would like the game, but I just don't have the time or the money. How about them? How about those gamers, y'all? And they come in the millions, if not the billions. I think these companies realized that MM2K, and then they said, damn, man, we got to get a plan together, y'all. Amazon, get on the phone. I bet you they got a DM. I bet you they have a DM on Twitter, Stadia, Google, Google, Luna, and GeForce Now and all them, xCloud. They got to have a DM talking about, man, how can we get these games out here for the people? Because shipping and manufacturing consoles and hiring new staff to work at these facilities sure is getting expensive as hell, man. Mm-hmm. I know you had to do some of the same things when it comes to cloud gaming, but y'all get my point. Stay with me if you don't. I'll explain it. All right. Now you got to buy an extra controller. Them controllers come $60 last time I checked, brand new, man. They're not cheap. Sometimes you got to buy a play and charge kit, HDD. That's a hard disk drive to store your games on if you don't already have one, man. These are some of the things you need. A SSD, which is a solid state drive. Now, y'all know how much they cost because Microsoft said, yo, man, we only going to give y'all a little bit of space, limited space, man. We want y'all to buy that SSD for $229 or however much it costs, right? These are facts. These are facts. So y'all keep talking about the entry level, the barrier to entry and all this stuff. When I just cha-ching, when you calculate all the numbers right there and all those things you need, man, you done spent over a G. You done spent over a G. We're picking on Stadia for having games that's all on sale all the damn time, man. Let me get into the pro talk real quick, MM. Then I promise I'm gonna give you the mic back and then I'm gonna come right back at it. So, MM, we're talking about Stadia Pro now. You gotta pay $9.99 to play in 4K. Hold on, chat. You gotta pay $9.99 to play in 4K, not 4K. Remember, we're in the streets right now. 4K, man, $9.99. But I'm like, with that $9.99, do you know how many games I added in my library? Like Moonlighter that I was just on, man. Like Street Power Football, man. Like so many damn games that I've been able to play that I wouldn't have tried. Shout out to Dark Doc. I mean, damn it, MM. You done messed me up.
You can't blame me for that one, brother. That was your old Milwaukee. That wasn't mine.
I'm messing up more often, man. I'm not even on the old Milwaukee, man. It's too early in the damn day. I don't drink. I don't even drink no more, man, unless it's a celebration. Check this out, right? I'm just spitting these facts, though. But Doc just told us, y'all, that with cloud gaming, you could try games that you never would have put your paws on because you don't have to install them. How many people do I know that has said, yo, man, I'm running out of space on my hard drive. Damn, I got to delete something. Call of Duty, damn, dog. Call of Duty now took over 30% of my hard drive already. Yep. I know these people because they really exist. You might be one of them in the chat right now. Say it ain't so. Now, you're talking about all this right here. You got to rebuy your game on Stadia. God damn. But you got to rebuy certain next-gen games on the PS5.
Yep.
Come
Yeah,
on,
come on,
Rome. Now that's what my
come on.
homie Rome just to
Yeah,
think about,
yeah.
man. It's
Hey,
something to think
Rome,
about,
you
man.
gonna have
That's
to
my
call
brother,
him on that one. He gonna have
and
to call him on that
he
one.
knows that we keep it real, and he keeps it real, man. We send people Rome's way, and Rome does the same thing. Shots out me and Doc all the time, man, because we bring things to the table. We don't just talk out the side of our head. But here's the deal, man, MM. So all those things going on right there, man. I could keep the list as it goes on and on. We're not even talking about the cost of repairs. If you order a console online, you got to pay, well, same thing with Stadia, but the cost of repairs and all that, man, maintaining your hardware when it gets dusty and all that, you got to clean your hardware and all that. With Stadia, what dust have you ever worried about, MM? You might have brushed your controller off or whatever, like, oh, a little speck of dust. Boop, it's
Mm-hmm.
gone, man. You don't have to worry about that damaging your product.
Yep.
I mean, it's just so many things that people don't think about, man. Like the fact that like how convenient it is. I already talked about that. But then you don't have to deal with like cross generation and back compatibility and all that stuff, man. You buy a game on Stadia from the Stadia Pro sale, guess what? You got that game in 2035.
Mm-hmm.
You got that game in 2035. Back compatibility, what? Come on, man. Stop playing with me, y'all. But the list goes on and on, though. I just want MM2K to talk before I just steal the show.
We got. I mean, they're killing it in the chat, man. So definitely, they're. What a lot of people don't understand or what they're not taking into consideration is that what you're seeing from these cloud platforms now, as Storm illustrated, is you're seeing severe advancements from what OnLive even did. Even if OnLive didn't have those problems with getting the games, this is beyond what OnLive was able to do. OnLive had a lot of the instantaneous play, but man, you're getting this ability to boom, 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 go from your PC, from your laptop to your phone. You have the ability to get this sharp fidelity even without the most prominent broadband. You know what I'm saying? I had trash 50 up and 50 down that was capped, that I was able to get great fidelity on and great performance and stuff like that. So again, we got to get that OnLive argument out of the way, because it's a farce. It has nothing to do with what's going on right now. OnLive deserves its roses after its lifespan for what it was able to do, for it ushering in this thought of cloud gaming, and the fact that it could have been something great even back then, but they made some missteps. But what you're seeing now with what Google's trying to do and all these other platforms will be able to do as well in the future is something completely different and a lot more capable. Now, Storm, I want to follow up what you said about the notion that that Google over promised. I think again we misunderstood what the GDC was for. And shout out to Roger in the chat. He elegantly put out there and correctly put out there that the GDC wasn't for us. It's called GDC. It says the GDC statements were targeted for devs, not us consumers. GDC stands for Global Developers Conference. So
Game Developers Conference.
Game Developers Conference. It's not Game Players Conference. So when we sit there and we have our expectations, we got to understand how Google operates. Again, get up and learn. Wake up every morning and learn. We got to understand how these individual platforms work, and what Google does is they speak directly to its demographic. Now, I'm not going to say that Google didn't appreciate the accolades that they were getting at the time from the media and stuff like that, and they weren't truly aware that people might not fully interpret what they meant by the 10.7 teraflops. Because you can have all the power in the world in the hardware. We were just shown that with the Xbox Series X server blades. And people still weren't educated and still didn't understand because they were armchair quarterbacking. It doesn't matter how much power you got in the blades when you're cloud gaming or when you're trying to have a cloud gaming platform. It's about them codecs too. The codecs play a very important role in that. Your streaming capabilities, the networking, all that stuff plays a very important role. So even though, and we had Digital Foundry that confirmed that, yes, the hardware that Stadia was using was definitely the 10.7 teraflops. They confirmed that despite all the other garbage they've saying, they did confirm that. What people didn't understand is that the bandwidth restraints and the codecs played a role into that. And what Google was trying to do was say, hey, developers, this is the type of hardware that you're going to be working with. Is something that is more capable hardware-wise than what you're dealing with the Xbox and the PlayStation at the time. That was a message for the developers. Even though there was some blowback from the typical gamer, you got to understand this was said at a GDC. This was focused on at a GDC. Now, could they have done a better job? Probably so. But as far as the over-promising and all other stuff, what we have a tendency of doing in the community, Storm, is somebody will say something and then we assume the rest. They'll leave gaps. They won't say anything specific about something. They'll mention something and we fill in the gaps with our own hopes and aspirations. And when those hopes and aspirations don't pan out the way that we assumed it did, we want to blame them. Stadia never said every game was going to be native 4K. The only talk of native 4K was from Ed Software, so you got to take that up with them. All right. They never said that all of these features were going to be available at launch. This was failure of the media to confirm that information, where elsewhere they would have confirmed that a while ago. They didn't start confirming this stuff until a couple of months before the launch, and then they wanted to jump all over the platform. So, again, the misconception that Stadia overpromised. Maybe Stadia's messaging wasn't transparent enough, but they never said 4K 60 native, which we all should be aware of if we're following Digital Foundry. We should be aware of that. They never said all these features would be available at launch. When Xbox and PlayStation talk about their features, are all their features available at launch? I'm still waiting for my NVMe port to become available on my PlayStation 5.
No.
So we got to stop that, Storm. We got to stop that.
We have to.
Let me put one more thing up here, and then we're going to open up the phone lines. I want to put something up here.
Go ahead and do that.
Because, again, we got to educate. We got to lead the blind. All right, hold on 1 second. See.
Yeah, and while he's doing that, I want to remind people that overnight Stadia became available to over 80 million potential gamers, y'all. Overnight. Consoles, Series X and PS5 combined have not hit that target yet. As far as like actual reach.
Yeah,
like being able to get your hands on it right now. You get what I'm saying, y'all? You got to think about stuff. You got to think deeper, man. You really have to think deeper. Then you don't have to worry about waiting in line at GameStop to get your games in the cold, in the hot, in the heat, in the rain, in the snow. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about trading in your games. And what I think we get, a lot of times we get ripped off anyway when I buy a game and I play it for 2 weeks or whatever, and then it's worth half the damn price. I mean, a lot of that stuff we don't have to worry about, You just buy the game, man. You take advantage of the sales that happen just like they happen everywhere else. Xbox Live and Steam and Epic, and they happen everywhere, right? But they happen on Stadia too a lot. There's one going on right now, y'all. There's one going on right now called a mega sale. And it has some quality games in there at some unbelievable prices, man. Check that out. That might be unbelievable, though.
And even at 50,000, Storm, like 50,000 people downloaded the Stadia for Google or for Android TV app. That's significant. I know a lot of people look at that and they may ponder, well, that's 50,000 people, not the hugest number. But if you go off of what we just showed you, Storm, how NASDAQ, not storming MM2K's Rib Shack, NASDAQ told you that even 5 years from now, 6 years from now, this is still going to be a 2, maybe 4% business. A 2 to 4% business. That's rapidly growing, by the way. That's why it's the future. It's not the big whoop to do right now for the mainstream gamer. It is for us because we know better. We don't follow crowds. We do the research on our own and we know what it is on our own, but it's not the big mainstream pusher right now. But even though it's a 2 to 4% business right now, you look at the 50,000 just off of Android TV alone, and that's despite the fact we don't know how many people sign up just via the web or via anywhere else. You look at that 50,000 just off of Android TV alone, and you compare that to numbers that are out there as far as number of units that were sold from PlayStation and Xbox during that same week. Rumor has it that there were around 200,000 PlayStation 5s put out there, and there were 139,000 Xbox Series consoles put out there, X's and S's, just rumors. If those numbers are true, are you trying to tell me that Stadia is doing anywhere between 25 to 40% of those numbers, and it's only a 2 to 4% business? That's significant. That is significant. And I know there's the argument out there, well, people download the app and they may not play games on it. Well, we can assume that about the consoles. You can scalpers are buying the consoles and people haven't bought them. You know what I'm saying? You can make that saying. Let's not do that. Engagement is engagement. So the simple fact that engagement has been raised a quarter of the ways possibly that you're seeing with PlayStation 5 and Xboxes for a 2% business. Again, you got to judge it where it's at. It's a 2 to 4% business right now, and you're seeing numbers that are a quarter to 40% of the big mainstream ways to game. That's significant. So you got to pay attention to the growth. You got to pay attention to the potential. And when you look at all the facts, not on your quarterback, but look at all the facts, you'll see why we say that cloud gaming is the future. Despite what you saw from xCloud, despite a lot of the promises that you saw from Xbox, to where they said, yeah, you're going to have something powerful within 3 years. Well, they launched xCloud in 2018 and made that statement in 2018. 3 years from then is still now. So by the end of the year, Storm, they could come out with a more powerful version. We'll have to see. But that's what xCloud said, not what Stadia said. Here's what Stadia said, y'all. And I just had it up on the screen. I'm going to show it to y'all again. This is a tweet from me that shows how Stadia was in a more realistic marathon type approach. For those of y'all want to say, oh, they were all out here all over the place over promising. That's false. You got to know what you don't know. It is this statement, the most of the media missed prior to the launch of Stadia, that explains a refocus of the product in yesterday's announcements. See the highlighted portion. I was talking about the whole SG&E thing. It appears that realizing this specific goal has become the focus. We'll talk all about this later. Now, what is that specific goal? The head of games, Jack Buser, was asked, how do you convince an audience that's already built up a games library, Friendship Online, to shift over to your platform as opposed to ones they've spent 10 or more years growing up with? So Jack Buser looked at that because the question was pretty much aimed at, you guys are launching, how are y'all going to get people in 2019, 2020 to drop what they got, forget about that library, and come over to Stadia? And Jack Buser said this: the same device that you are using, as in the PlayStation and the Xbox, certainly has better and more rich experiences. That will take time to play out as far as Stadia is concerned. Because gamers will have to realize, listen to this, oh my gosh, Stadia has improved so much from years ago, I can't believe I'm still using the same screen, but that's the third piece there, Storm. Yeah. So again, to Stadia, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And they weren't out there trying to convince people that Stadia is going to take over gaming, throw away your consoles in 2019. That's a farce.
Wow.
And this came out in May of 2019, several months before launch, even before the GDC. So you got to know what you don't know, y'all. Don't listen to this bibble babble. Stop armchair quarterbacking. If y'all know the truth, y'all will stop being so damn fearful of cloud gaming and getting it all wrong and stop looking so foolish. With that said, I'm going to open up the phone line, Storm, if that's okay.
Before you do that, we got a super sticker, man.
Oh, we got a super sticker? Oh, shout out to the homie, Efren Mexia, with the super sticker. The $3 super sticker. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. All right, with that said, I'm going to turn it back to you, Storm. What are your thoughts on all this?
Oh man, we might have to go extra time is my thoughts, man, because
Yeah.
see, when the phone lines open, I'm sure, hey, if nobody has anything to say, man, I swear I got some more, y'all. So don't let me
He
keep
said I
on
got some more
talking.
for you.
Join in. Listen,
Yes.
MM2K, it's just a whole lot to think about, man. And see, as cloud gamers, we have to. There's a way that we could combat some of the misconceptions and all that stuff, and do so respectfully, man. Like that's what we have to focus on, right? What we're trying to do here is put out there the facts. We're showing y'all what our thoughts are based on, and a lot of the stuff that I've been saying today is based on our experiences as gamers. You know what I'm saying? That we know are happening for sure. So man, it's just it's crazy when you think about it. There's so many people that they're betting against cloud gaming ever being realistic and coming to fruition in the first place, man. I don't understand when we have three of the biggest players like a Microsoft, like a Google, like an Amazon in the game, man. Like these companies are not dumb. They know what's up. They know where we're headed. Netflix has already shown us, man, a long time ago now. Like,
Absolutely.
so you can't bet against it. It's coming. It has potential to outdo hardware gaming. It does. I'm seeing that right now, every day. Just check out a few of my videos, man.
Yep.
Like, just check them out. Like, I'm seeing this. It's jaw dropping already, man. I can only imagine MM2K in chat when it gets to a point where it's like, really though. Like imagine Stadia overnight, them hitting the switch, the magical switch, boom, overnight. Now Stadia is performing better than Series X and PS5 because they told y'all it was built to scale up with the developers and all that stuff, man. Like imagine it's on par with the Xbox Series X and PS5. Imagine that, y'all. And in some ways, I feel like it already is as far as performance goes. So it's just something to think about, man. Everything that you all can honestly say, even the internet infrastructure, we've gone over that several times and told y'all like why the internet is more viable than you think at this point, y'all.
Yep.
So I just want to leave it right there, man. And man, we can go ahead and open the lines and all that, man, if you want to.
All right. The phone lines are open. 724-739-3612 if you want to call in and give your thoughts about this or anything. But I thought it was a great discussion. Also, if you want to leave viewer mail, go to https or go to just pntsnetwork.com/# PNTS main yappa. Shout out to Stadia Pro Gaming that is in the house right now. Shout out to you, my good friend. Give us a call.
We got Randy B with a super chat.
Oh, Randy B with the super chat says, shout out to y'all doing the God's work in the Stadia community. Look, man, Randy, we appreciate that, brother. It's what we're trying to do is we're trying to separate fact from fiction. And we got a phone call.
Let's get it.
Hello, you're live with MM2K Project Storm on SML Podcast. Who's it that we're talking to? Our good friend.
What up, Daddy 2K and Mommy Storm? How's it going?
What's
We
up,
already
bro?
know who it is.
We already know.
There it is.
What's up, brother? What you got?
What up? I'm at work, so you might hear
I was
some
about to
noise,
ask you,
so
how's work?
hopefully- Good, just got in.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm pretty sure Storm wanted to know my hardware, if you guys know what I mean.
That's right. Break it down.
Let's do the same.
Okay, Ryzen R9 5900X.
Okay.
RTX 3080.
All right.
Those are my main two specs right there. NVMe
Hey,
1 terabyte. Water cooled.
I got you.
Other than that, that's pretty much it. Like, that's
Hey,
my
G Millie,
new
so
PC.
let me ask you, what do you think about it so far, man? That's like top level PC hardware right there. So what do you think? What's your first thoughts on it, man?
Honestly, don't know, because I got it right before I had to go to work. Then I had to go to work in the morning after working at night. So I'm just installing stuff.
Well, I'll tell you this. I hope you can't game at 4K, man, because I don't need nobody else coming out here trying to bump me off the 4K map. Me, Jim, and others out here that's driving 4K content.
I tried.
Nah, man, but at the same time, G Miller, that's a beast, man. You're gonna be able to breeze through 4K and all that good stuff, man. You're gonna be able to also play Stadia on it. You're definitely gonna be able to play Stadia on it, and now maybe better than me, because that right there is some beast hardware, man. So I don't know what else to
Well,
say,
I don't
bro.
have an 8K monitor, so
Well, see, that's where
I'm
you're
not
gonna
getting
always
one
be
anytime
behind.
soon.
That's where you're gonna be behind the goat all the time,
Oh,
man. I'm the goat, man, man, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah,
the goat,
you're the
man.
big goat
That's
right
what I
there.
do. But nah. All jokes aside, G Miller, you know how we rock, man. MM2K, what do you have for the
Yeah.
homie, man?
No, so G, what do you think about? I mean, again, I know we do a lot of, as people may tag us with, we do a lot of Stadia propaganda, but let's talk about cloud gaming in general. I mean, what are your thoughts, G,
Okay.
on cloud gaming being the future?
You want to know my personal opinions?
Yes, sir.
Check this out. Cloud gaming is here. I don't think it's the future like right now. I think
Yeah.
we gotta wait 5-6 years for it
Yeah.
because people are so focused on their consoles. We don't even have like the big 5 games. We don't even have the big free to play games yet. So
Yeah.
like they don't really care right now.
Yeah.
Who cares
Absolutely.
about the hardcore people? We need the free to play people to come in with their Fortnites, their Apexes, their War Zones. We need streamers that actually play games on stream instead of showing their butts.
Yeah.
To care about it. To care
But
about
I tell you what. Oh,
to care about the whole cloud gaming. That's what we need. That's what we need. But other than that, that's pretty much my thoughts right there.
all right. Well, let me chime in, man, because G Millie called up. I knew he wasn't going to be afraid to test the waters. But I will say this, G Millie, you got to look at a game like PUBG, man. It's not free to play, but PUBG is out here was free for Stadia Pro users and all that. And then now you got another nice game called Rainbow Six Siege that's on the platform, man. So many tens of millions of people enjoy this one every single day,
Oh
probably.
yeah, okay,
And so they're making,
that is
yeah, so
true.
they're making ways. I
That,
know they're not free to play, so to speak, but Destiny 2 is out there. That's a little game too called Destiny 2. And so I think they're gonna build that portfolio. But this is a hell of a thought though, G Millie. But what were you gonna say?
that is true. Don't get me wrong, but PUBG compared to all the other battle royale games, that's like the lowest of them. Like that's like popular in Asia type deal.
No. Yep. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I mean, it's
But
still making
but we
significant
need to
progress.
wait like 5 years to really see where
Yeah.
cloud gaming is. Like for us, cool, but for average Joe
Yep.
that has like an Xbox or PlayStation is just content on what they got, or comfortable with what they got, they probably don't even know about Stadia yet.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
You are not lying. MM, let
I
me say
agree.
one more thing. You're not lying, but now that Stadia is in their TVs and stuff, man, their latest 4K displays and Shield TV, Shield Pro, all these devices they might already have. Now is a chance to jump in and say, well, let me see what the hell G Millie and Storm and MM2K are talking about, man. Let me see what they're talking about. Let me go ahead and test the performance myself to see if it compares with my base PS4, my Xbox One S's and Sam. You know what I mean? My Nintendo 64. Let me see if it even compares with that and stuff, so they could do that.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a slow road, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll see.
It's not gonna happen overnight.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll see growth, but
it's gonna grow, but it's not gonna grow overnight. And I honestly think Microsoft fell on its face.
Yeah.
Because I did try out
Yeah.
xCloud and let's just say, not impressed.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talk, G Millie, but about Stadia launching bad. I think that was more or less perception towards
Let's
Google.
just say I had a better experience on Stadia launch compared to
Facts.
xCloud launch.
Woo! Poop soup. Is that? And
I'm
y'all
gonna
serving
tell
up
you
poop
that right
soup
now.
today, G Millie, or where you at?
I played Destiny on both services, and I had a better experience Destiny on Stadia launch.
Absolutely. Even with the complaints. So, let me ask you this one last question, G. Because this is my thought. You tell me what you think. Do you think that the launch of xCloud falling flat for many people was more harmful to cloud gaming than Stadia. My opinion, Stadia's ires were focused on Google. Google's this, Google Graveyard. A lot of it was focused on Google, not necessarily cloud gaming. And people were doubting cloud gaming, but they were doubting Google. Google more than cloud gaming. What do you think about that?
Google's problem. They're too quick on killing services.
Mm-hmm.
See, they shot themselves in the foot, like jumping the gun, starting something and killing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's Google's problem.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft doesn't really have that issue, which is they did kill some services and some products, but not as fast as Google.
Well, what do you think about the prospect that a lot of people were hanging the prospects of cloud gaming in general more on Xbox? They didn't believe Google could do it, so they already kicked Google's teeth in. But they really thought that xCloud could do it, and xCloud fizzled. Do you think that was a bigger black eye for cloud gaming?
20 years to prove themselves that they could get into the gaming market.
Yeah.
Xbox has Xbox.
Yeah.
And they've been around since 2001.
Mm-hmm.
So what brand is gamers going to trust more, Microsoft or Google when it comes to gaming?
Yep.
It's that simple right there.
Yep. Well, G, hey brother, thank you for calling in. We're gonna let some more people get in there, but it's always great to have you come in here, man.
Yeah, I got one more thing for G real quick. G Millie is another gamer that has a PC. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard the specs. Insane, right? But he still can appreciate the cloud and what the cloud has to offer and watch it evolve, man. Shout out to G Millie.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you. Have a good rest of your stream. I'll be listening while working.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
G.
Thank you.
All right, that was the homie G Million. We also want to give a shout out to the homie Efren Mexia. Welcome to the Dose, my good friend. Now a new member of the Stadia Dosage News family. Appreciate you, my good friend. Storm, what are your thoughts on that, man? We never really touched on that as we wait for any future calls. Do you think that
G Millie? Oh, I thought you were. Okay,
I was going to say, do you think that the all the negativity towards Stadia was more Google centric, so it was more aimed towards Google than it was cloud gaming, even though it was based upon cloud gaming. Oh, we got another phone call. Hold that thought. Hello, you are live with Project Storm MM2K. What is it that you want to talk about, our good friend?
Yo, you know who this is.
Oh, Reb! What's going on? But how the ribs?
In the house.
How the ribs, brother?
I ain't put them on yet, but why am I getting the echo again?
Yeah, you cutting. Okay. He's cutting out for me a little bit in and out. G Millie was too, but I mean, as long as the chat can hear him, we're good.
Yeah, because every time I say something, it's coming back. I don't know why that is. Hold on a second. Put my Pixel Buds in.
Let me do this. All right, can you say something, Rev? Can you hear him, Storm?
No.
You couldn't hear him that time? All right, let me try this. Say something, Rev.
Yo, what's happening?
Yeah, I can hear Rev now.
What we doing?
Yeah, I can hear him clear.
Was he echoing? Can you hear us, Rev?
I can hear you. No echo.
All right,
good. We're good.
All right, go ahead. I think I may have fixed the problem, but go ahead, brother.
Yeah, man. It's a good weekend, I got the grill going. I'm getting it started right now. I hadn't put the ribs on yet, but I'm about to put some hot dogs and brats and stuff on it, and some burgers and some chicken. Then I'm gonna finish off with the ribs. So it's about to be one. I'm loving this discussion, man. This is a much needed discussion that should have been had a long time ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts, Rev? I mean, matter of fact, let me throw this question at you first.
Okay.
What do you think about the fact that people are saying that xCloud fell flat in their expectations,
mm-hmm.
but Do you think that has a bigger stain on cloud gaming right now than what happened with Google? Because my argument is yes, because a lot of the ire that Google got was specifically to Google because it killed by Google and all that other stuff. It was on. I mean, it did branch out to cloud gaming in general, but it was more focused on Google. I think that this was like people really were deflated. Like, oh, well, cloud gaming ain't the future. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that perception is still not true. Cloud gaming is the future. You know what I'm saying? But we all said, it ain't gonna be tomorrow. Tomorrow ain't that future we're talking about. It's gonna be a couple of years, and that's why we see all of these companies that had nothing to do with gaming, like Walmart and other places, invested in it. Yep. I keep bringing that up, But the xCloud. They rebranded it, so it's Xbox Cloud Gaming now. We have to be, correct with our nomenclatures and whatnot. The whole thing with that is, again, like with Stadia launching on Google TV, Android TV, and all these other different platforms that they were able to get on now. You got to realize it's the start of it. This ain't the end. You start at the beginning. Start at the end. So they upgraded their system to bring 1080p to xCloud, and they're running on the series blades. Okay, that's awesome. So see where they go from there. I hate the knee-jerk reaction thing, and that's been a thing that's in the Stadia community, and it's really bad because I always wait for the other shoe to drop before I really, really say something, And I just give my initial interpretation of what's being said or what's being shown. But it's like there's always another side. There's always the other side of the coin. You got to see where this goes. You can't just say, "Oh, this sucks right now, and this sucks and it's terrible, and I'm not going to use it." Okay, so you're not going to use it for forever and ever, and all the way to the end of time, just because you don't like what's happening now. Like, make that make sense. It just doesn't to me. There's a lot of competition going on in the cloud space. People competing for your money, your eyes, and your attention. To use their system, and that be the only one. If you choose to do that, that's fine. Like me, I don't have use for any other ones because of reasons of my home, my own little situation when it comes to that. So that's why Stadia works for me.
Yep.
But others may use all the other cloud platforms, and that's great. But that's just telling you that there's interest for everything. So we can't sit there and just say, "Oh, it's not the future," just because people were disappointed with Xbox Cloud Gaming.
Yep.
It wasn't like they were just the only ones out here that was making cloud gaming the industry that it is, and the potential niche gaming market that it is. They weren't the only ones out here doing that.
Yeah.
Big.
They've been in development for 8 years. Okay, great. What was that? GFit has been just went out of beta last year, right?
Yep.
What was that? PS Now still doing its thing. There's Walmart getting involved, Facebook.
Yep.
Amazon.
Yep.
I mean, all these different big companies that are out here doing something in the cloud gaming space. So that must tell you that there's something to this. There's a there there. There's not a, it's not just something fly by night that they're just gonna say, you know what, we gave it a good honest try.
Red. Let's throw billions of dollars at it.
Let's just throw a whole bunch of money and talk to these developers and make all of this stuff happen and get all and upgrade our systems and do all this stuff and just say, you know what?
and Rev, to your point, because people want to throw this off as a gimmick, like how motion control was a gimmick, right? Remember the iToy and Xbox Connect? You just had current.
I had one.
Yeah, exactly, and I did too. You had companies that were currently in it that said, let's try this thing. Now, Xbox went a little bit harder, and they had a little bit more ramifications, but Sony not so much. But with cloud gaming, you got all these companies, Verizon, Walmart, people that sell, you got companies that sell tuna for crying out loud trying to do cloud gaming. So you're trying to tell us.
Hotel chains.
Hotels. So you're trying to tell us, let me step away from the mic, and I'm getting too damn excited. You're trying to tell us that all these companies are this damn stupid. The companies that are the richest companies in the world, they're this damn stupid to get in on this because this is some gimmick when they weren't trying to get in on iToy and all that other. Like, where's this? Why do we have this type of mentality? Where do you think it's coming from?
I don't know. It's like, if you can allow me just for a second.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be right back. Y'all go ahead, man. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
This world has just evolved in a way that it evolved into people being more closed-minded, and hey, it's either black or white, right? Because of whatever things, people's beliefs, people's, whatever they believe in. And it's to the point now that you have to be, oh, I'm team this, I'm team that. Like, it's weird now because gamers were always at like the forefront of technology. We were the ones that was using the latest and greatest and whatever, and we were excited to try the latest and greatest and the newest and see what this thing could do. Now, people say, well, hey, this new system is coming out. Oh, well, it ain't the Xbox. Okay. No, it ain't the PlayStation. Oh, okay. Like, I remember it was about 20-something years ago, man, when it was like around the time when the Xbox came out, right? We was at a friend of mine's house who was playing some games on Xbox, was just talking about some dude came in. One of the dudes that we worked with came in and was like, hey, oh, what's that? I said, oh, it's the Xbox. They said, can it play PlayStation games? Like, what? Like, what is that? And I think this whole, the console war is a big contributor to that. And so if we can get people to get out of that console war mentality and embrace the advances in technology, no matter which way you choose to play it, I think, this whole thing can grow. But, people, when you introduce something new, they're resistant until it becomes the norm. And that's what I think Stadia is going to be.
Yeah. Man, I just got something for y'all to think about real quick, man.
Yes, sir.
Like, as you all were talking real quick, I just want to throw this out there, man. Like, I'm thinking about the publishers and the devs or whatever, right? When it comes to cloud gaming. Now, MM2K and Rev, I want y'all both to answer this if y'all can, man. So here's the question, right? If you are a publisher or a developer, do you overlook the fact that all these tens of millions of devices just went into the homes of these consumers? Do you overlook that, Rev? Wow. And I'm starting with Rev. Rev, do you overlook that as a publisher or a dev? Stadia Revolution?
Yes, no way you can overlook that. That's just potential revenue.
Okay, MM2K, do you, with your company, do you, and your game development, publishing, your studios and everything, right? Do you completely overlook that, MM2K?
Oh my gosh! Why, Storm? I just went downstairs to go get some water. You weren't supposed to do this to me,
man. Bruh, you got to answer it.
You can't. You just simply can't. You can't.
Can't overlook it, right?
There's no way you can. There's no way you can overlook another potential revenue stream. That's why you see that's why you see these publishers getting involved in, because they're all about the bottom line. It's all about making money at the end of the day. And I was just having a conversation with somebody. They talk about Stadia game prices and stuff like that. Who sets those prices is not the platform holder, it's the publisher.
Exactly.
So when you get this in front of nearly 100 million people, you think they ain't thinking about, dang, I can make such X amount of dollars off of this potential $100 million, 100 million people potential. You think they're not looking at that and saying,
well, let me answer that. Let me answer that real quick. Well, let me answer that for you, Red. Obviously, they are, because we're seeing companies like EA, Ubisoft, Bethesda, Square Enix, and other ones that you love or hate. They're already on board, man. They're already on board, so we already know the answer to that. So that's another reason why cloud gaming will be around. It makes sense, and it is going to be the future. Yep. Whether we like it or not, that's just how it goes down, absolutely, man. Netflix wasn't supposed to overtake Blockbuster at one point. Woo! Look what happened, gamers. Chat. Hey, chat, we still with y'all. Don't think we forgot about you. Look what happened.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? What? So it's inevitable, man.
Let me tell you, can I say something about that Blockbuster thing?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was done.
You remember when Netflix first came in? They were sending discs out to people, and you would watch the movie, and you rent the movie online, and then they send you the disc, and then you send it back, and whatever's in your queue, they send you the next one. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were doing that, and that was
I.
actually pretty cool, right? Then Blockbuster tried to imitate that, and they had the option where you could go into the brick and mortar store to return the disc, and they'd send it back. And we had a Blockbuster right down the street from us, so we just switched over to that to use it all the time. Then all of a sudden, Netflix came in. They had movies on their website, and next thing you know, Blockbuster was done.
Yeah,
it was over.
I mean, it was like near. It took a while, but it was almost overnight. And it was just like we didn't even notice that change, and all of a sudden we just started using Netflix a lot more.
Yep.
To watch movies online.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, our queue and Blockbuster ran out. We watched all the movies over there. And then, boom, we weren't even using that no more.
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes to show you, like, technology just moves. And if you're sitting here like, just being resistant to that change, then I don't know what to tell you, man. You're gonna miss out on a whole lot of fun.
You're just gonna have to conform. You're gonna have to comply with the changes, man, because these companies damn sure are not gonna miss out on the opportunity to make billions of dollars and to save billions of dollars when it comes to hardware and all that stuff, right? Getting consoles built and all that, man. These companies are in it for the billions. You hear me? If you don't believe that, then you just don't know business. I don't know what else to say, but look, hey, so you can almost safely say that Microsoft is definitely in it to the point where they put again, Rev, again, Xbox put their consoles in the server blades for the cloud. You know why they did that? And they were so smart, and they were so smart about it. This is what I didn't say earlier. They were so smart to do it because they only have a free-to-play multiplayer experience in Halo Infinite that's coming up this year. I've said it on Scram Punks MM2K. You know I said it, man. You was right there with me on Scram Punks, man. Shout out to Dirk Riggin and all the team and all them. We had this conversation a long time ago, man, and I said this is what's about to happen, man. Xbox is gonna double down real heavy on that cloud, and guess what? Overnight, Halo Infinite is going to be able to be streamed and played by millions more gamers, bro, because of that. So there it is. I rest my case, man. I'm done.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's all it is right there. Like, why would they be so heavily invested in this if this wasn't going to be one of the main ways gaming is done? Not today, not tomorrow, but a couple of years from now. Like, why would they even bother? Yeah. It goes to what I always say, like how I go about my stuff is that, all my stuff is streaming, like all of it. All my media consumption is just streaming, period. From cable to music to movies to gaming to whatever. And that's going to be the primary way a lot of people do that.
Yep.
Why do you think they're positioning themselves like right now?
Well, we know
inevitable eventuality.
We know.
Hey,
we know.
It just boggles my mind that people can't understand. Like once something is introduced to the market, eventually that's going to be the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just think that I think a lot of people just they want an armchair quarterback. They don't like the advent of what cloud gaming is, so they've been misinformed and they think it's going to take over their console experience overnight. That's why the same hoopla about DRM, and it's just people being misinformed and not understanding everything. Yep, exactly. Well, Storm, Rev, thank you for calling in, brother. I want to get Storm sent out a challenge to the haters. And I don't want to say haters, but the people that may have a different opinion. So I want the people with a different opinion to call in too, brother. You know what I'm saying? So definitely.
Yes.
But you dropped some jewels on this call, man. Thank you so much and appreciate you, man. Have a great 4th, man.
That's right, Rev. You know what it is. Man.
Absolutely.
Do it. Fire it up. Be safe out there.
Fire it up.
All right. Later, y'all.
All right.
Yeah. So, damn, some serious jewels. I mean, You almost stunned me. I almost passed out when you asked me that question. I think people don't think about it, like this just isn't a gimmick. You got people going from stocking up stocking up pudding to now wanting to get into cloud gaming. There's data out there that suggests why this is going to be a big thing. It's going to take a while to build the infrastructure. Like it took Stadia a while to build the infrastructure, and they did it at a great time. Hence why they got a head start from everybody on how the cloud gaming performance works.
All right, let me stop you. Let me stop you and put this out here real quick to put things into better perspective, y'all. Go to race in the chat. Go to race K. If you go up a little bit right under the Bibbidi Bop and in between Bibbidi and the Nightbot, I don't know if you can find above Stadia Pro's comment, right? Go to race, right? Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining in and chiming in. Said, I feel so stupid for listening to the haters. Stadia is next gen. But I'm sorry, he said, Stadia is next gen. You know what I'm saying? That's how he said it. So, I mean, and this is what we do this for, is to really educate, to not misinform people, man, to break down the facts, because we got smacked with it ourselves. Cloud gaming might work. Boom. All of a sudden, Stadia works. Not only does it works so damn well that I'm telling y'all that I have been having an experience with my setup that is only comparable to my high-end gaming PC and my next-gen Series X, man. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. So we got to get past this idea that all these people that are multi-billion-dollar companies that make these multi-billion-dollar decisions and are at the top of the marketing sphere for a reason just are dumb. Like, don't get me wrong. They don't always make perfect decisions, but there is a reason why these people are jumping in this right now. Everybody from Walmart, again, to Verizon to
I said, hold on, man. You're right. I said Skull Terrace, man. Skull Terrace. I read it wrong, bro. Damn. All right, but go ahead, man.
That's all right. But there's a reason why all these different entities are hopping in this, and they're getting into this right now because they have data that we don't have, and we got to realize that. We got to be self-aware that even though we are gamers and our voices are important, we got to understand there's stuff that we're not connected to, and that we got to get connected to. We got to do the research and connect the dots. When you get connected to the information, then you'll find that Verge article about OnLive, and you won't spill this rhetoric that OnLive, Stadia, and all these other platforms are the same and they're exactly the same and they're going to die of the same fate. Then you get more educated when you see that no, they weren't trying to overpromise on a whole bunch. They never said native 4K and stuff like that. That was for the Gamers Developer Conference. Why they put those numbers out there. Their actual thoughts about the state of the platform at launch and what they hope for in the future was actually said by Jack Buser when he said it's going to take, oh my gosh, Stadia has improved so much from years ago. I can't believe I'm still using the same screen, but that's the third piece here. So we got to put all that in perspective. Again, call in 724-739-3612 if you got a different opinion on all this. We don't bite. We got an open door policy. Let's talk
Tell
about
me
it.
why what we've been saying all show doesn't make sense, man.
Exactly.
I just want to know that.
Let us know.
Yeah, I need to know.
We're open.
Now, and we went overtime for y'all. We went overtime for y'all today. As long as my brother's good with it, I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care because the conversation today, it's on fire. Now, imagine this, y'all. Imagine this. This is for the chat.
All
right.
We got a call. Hello, you're live with Project Storm MM2K. Who is it that we're talking to, and what is it you want to talk about, our good friend?
What's going on, fellas? It's Ron Slusher in the house.
Ron Slusher! In the building. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, guys, man? First off, props on what you guys do out here in these streets, taking these bullets for us. It's really tough right now, so props to you guys and all the Stadia content creators out there.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
I just want to hit up xCloud right now. Had it for about a week.
Yeah.
I know. Upgraded server blades. I don't know about you, but I'm still getting these little stutters and audio, mishaps going on. But I think Microsoft's in trouble. And let me kind of go into that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. They've been around 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. they've never gotten past PlayStation. They've never been able to win America.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And with this new launch of the Series S, Series X, they're getting their butts kicked by PlayStation still.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is they're like, let's go to the cloud. They didn't anticipate Stadia being a threat.
Yeah.
So they're basically getting smacked by Stadia right now, right?
Damn.
Uh-huh.
So they're losing the console space. They're losing the cloud space. I mean, where are they going to go?
PC, baby.
If you think about it, they haven't got any reach in Japan, Europe.
Yeah.
You're not winning the States. You're not winning the clouds. I mean, I think that's something to think about.
Ron, brother, I don't know what your other ID was or your other avatar was, but you must have been somebody else. You must have been following on your MM2K breakfast when I was over on MM2K videos talking about this, because this was the stuff that I was spitting in 2018. Like, Microsoft's problem is that they're existent everywhere, but they're a master of none.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and I warned about that. I said, it's great that they are the premier subscription service for gaming, but when it comes to gaming, a subscription service, at least in these years, aren't a big deal, because your average gamer does what? Only buys 2 games a year. For every platform, They might have a maximum of 7 to 9 games. We're not the average gamers. So the real money is behind the average gamer, and you only got 2 times a year to strike gold with them. They're not going to want to pay, on top of that, a subscription service that ain't got their Madden, ain't got their Call of Duty, ain't got their 2K in it. So the only thing that you're a master of right now, Ron, that you so elegantly put out there, is you're master of a service that is niche, that at this point in time, out of 1.6 billion potential consumers, you've been able to reach 30 million. Nothing to sneeze at, but it's not enough to where you can systemically and boldly say you're profitable to the regards of Tom Warren, someone that does nothing but slurp and burp Microsoft. I said it. So I want anybody that want to pick this up, what are the thoughts of the best thing forward? And I'm not talking about offerings, because we know that cloud gaming offerings are great, but it's still a 2 to 4% business. I'm talking about market. What is it to say about Microsoft that they done thrown everything but the kitchen sink at you, but still the best that they can do is potentially be number one on a niche service that isn't built for the general gamer? Go ahead. I'm shutting it down.
Let me go, Ron.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind, Ron.
Go ahead.
So remember, all right, perception is what, MM2K?
9/10 of the law.
So Google Stadia came out here, got slapped to a lot of gamers who was just flat out hating on it, waiting for the day that xCloud could come out here and just show y'all what real cloud gaming looks like, man. Xbox was supposed to show us with all those exclusives and all the Bethesda games, y'all, Ron. It was, the world's most powerful console was about to go on these blades. We have to keep saying this over and over to help y'all remember what was being said out there. You could go and find some of it today if you want to. Just search, right? So Stadia took their lumps, and they still are. xCloud was going to come in because Game Pass was on fire. So much so that people forgot that xCloud was run by Xbox. And Xbox has made some mistakes even in recent years, man. Like, see, people forgot all about that. They gave them that green pass, man. They gave them the green pass. And I love some Xbox, y'all. So much so that I spent so much time on it. I got about 90,000 achievement points and all that. I got my time in. And I wasn't even chasing achievements at the time when King Kong was out. Yeah, I got that easy 1,000 on a couple games. You know what I mean? That easy 1,000 was just too tempting. So anyway, my point is, though, now we're here. xCloud was supposed to carry that torch, man, for cloud gaming. It was supposed to come out and make a strong impact, impress many. And I'm talking about the millions of Xbox gamers, y'all. And it has impressed some. It has impressed some people. Some people really are having great experiences. I can get on there and have good experiences, but I can't act like what Ron Slusher is saying is not true. Because I have it on video of those stutters, those audio dropouts, me having to give them a bad rating on the survey because that's what they asked us to do, is let them know about our experience, right? So, and I try to be lenient on them. I didn't even give them all the bad experiences I could, but I'm listening to Charles. I don't even want to go back to that comment, man. Ban Charles now, man. Damn, Charles. But Charles told the truth, though, man. As a consumer, as a gamer who's trying, xCloud is just not there yet. But it was supposed to be because it was going to be powered by one of the best companies in gaming to so many. And it was going to be powered by the world's most powerful hardware in the Series X and Series S. And it just didn't shake out that way. So I just want to throw that in there, man.
What are your thoughts on that, Ron?
It hasn't shaked out yet, put it like that, because they are going to make strides.
Oh, yeah, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Yeah. But I think to Ron's point, Ron put out an excellent point. Like, I don't know if I would say they're in trouble, but I've hinted at that. I'm like, if they're in a predicament to where...
Yeah.
It's like you said. Now, I look at the 360 generation a little bit differently, Ron. I look at it to where, for the most of that generation, they sold more software. So I think I give the W to them that generation, but they haven't been back.
But that 360 generation though, Sony had a bad launch. If they didn't have a bad launch, I don't know if 360 would have survived.
That is true. That there was a lot of things that fell into play. And Microsoft took advantage of it. Like, one of the things is they released a machine at a 60% failure rate. You know, that helped out too. That helped get a lot of machines in there, and people already made the investment, so they said, to hell with it. I'll deal with the ring of death and send it in. I love these games so much. Exactly. But with that said, Ron, I did look at that part a little bit differently, but I was always concerned with Microsoft, because Microsoft is going to make money. But I was always concerned with those that felt like Microsoft was going to shoot off into the stratosphere with its individual efforts, to where I caution people. I don't think Xbox is in trouble of shutting down or being sold, because now they got Minecraft, they got Havoc, they're going to make money. But you're going to see certain initiatives possibly get bumped away if they don't see the success after all this investment. And so what does it say to you at this moment that Xbox throwing everything but the kitchen sink at PlayStation, and they can't even catch up to PlayStation right now? And I know that all the Bethesda games and stuff ain't out there, but PlayStation ain't really put nothing out there yet. They said they got 23 games in hold, and they ain't tell us what they are yet. What does that say if Microsoft tries to launch in the cloud, but they can't even catch up to PlayStation? What do you think about that?
Well, let's go back to Game Pass itself. There's over 265 games on Game Pass. Now, look yourself in the mirror and truly ask yourself, how many of those games do you actually play? Of the 265 plus games on there, how many do you really play? I'm
going to let Storm answer that one, because you know what I'm going to do, Ron. I'm going to go to the most played games, and I can show you right now to where if you look at the 50 top played games on Xbox, all these games that people say that come in, that are coming day and day, they're like, oh, this is great. They ain't there. They're not there. And you're only paying $14 or $10.99 or whatever the hell it is. They're not there in the top 50.
Right.
Top 50, not top 5, not top 10. They're not there in the top 50. And the games that you do see in there, Ron, that are in Game Pass would be in the top 50 regardless of Game Pass anyway.
I want to throw something, my brother.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Doc, hey, Doc, man, I want to throw something your way if Doc is listening, or somebody get this message to Doc.
Get it to him.
Doc Dark 1985. There's levels to this, y'all. He said that one of his things is that Stadia, the library, it has games, but it doesn't compare to xCloud. Now, Ron Slusher is here talking to us today. Ron Slusher just brought up a great point, Doc. Now, you just said there's 200 and something games. 65 is the number Ron put out there, right? But he asked a great, legit question. How many of those games? We can't play them all, y'all. We can't play them all.
That is
Some of them
absolutely.
are 360 games that we've already played millions of times.
Exactly.
All right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
when we're talking about that versus Stadia's library of games, man, Stadia has Resident Evil Village and Cyberpunk and all that stuff, man. I don't know if Cyberpunk's in xCloud library. God damn it. I'm so tired of Doc, man. I'm sorry. This ain't for Doc. This ain't for Doc right here. I'm changing my mind. But I'm so tired of it, y'all, man. There's bangers on Stadia that's not on xCloud or PSN or GeForce Now. And vice versa, man.
Absolutely.
You got the exclusive
yes.
game. Hey,
Yes.
you got the exclusives over there on the Xbox that
That is true.
millions of people have already played. You got some day and date bangers like Outriders and MLB The Show that hit xCloud.
Yes, sir.
But Stadia has some bangers that hit day one and day and date, but people forget about it, y'all. They forget about it to the point where I'm running out of breath trying to explain it right now. Now listen. I gotta throw this out there, Ron. I don't know how long, man. I know we had you on hold for a minute, Ron, but Ron, what's your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, man. If you look at this year, just 2021 alone, you look at the NPD numbers, the facts, which you guys always stress. You look at the top selling games of this year: Resident Evil 8, Outriders, regardless of you like it or you have issues.
Absolutely.
Little Nightmares 2. I can guarantee you when Madden drops next month, it's going to be the top selling game of the month. The Valhalla. These are all games in the top 20.
Yep.
Top 20 selling in America.
Yes, sir.
So you wonder why Stadia kind of pivoted away from making their own games, because they've never released a game. So I don't know why people are complaining. They never got a chance to release anything in the first place.
Yep.
So with the success of Cyberpunk, that just basically said, okay, we're just going to focus on the big ticket games.
Absolutely.
Getting them day and date that put numbers up on the board, And that's been their main focus, and that's what they've delivered on pretty much,
Yeah.
But I think also they have that big conference coming up in about another week and a half, 2 weeks. So we might get a little peek into the future, possibly, what the next move is going to be. But I think, in general, the whole industry, that pandemic just kind of threw a wrench in everything.
I agree.
As a whole.
So
that's probably why you're not seeing so many games across the board releasing anywhere.
I agree.
Ron, I got to put one more thing into perspective. This is for you, Ron Slusher,
yes,
sir. Now I'm trying to eat this biscuit I have right here, so I apologize. Listen, man. Halo Infinite comes out in the fall. This is for MM2K2. You don't get off the hook. Halo Infinite comes out in the fall. It is played on xCloud running suboptimally. It does not perform as well as Far Cry 6 on Stadia right now, or Riders Republic on Stadia right now. You guys, this might sound kind of biased, but I think it's a good question. What are you going to be spending the most time on? Let's assume that if Halo Infinite hit some of the roadblocks and they haven't upgraded yet, like, how does that make xCloud look, y'all? Versus Stadia with these Ubisoft titles that people overlook. I mean, what do y'all think?
It's gonna add another, nail in the coffin, I think, because I just got off PUBG on xCloud and it's still running 30 frames per second.
Yeah. Now, see, some people just said quietly, I'm gonna play it on my console. Storm, what the hell are you talking about? But see, this right here ain't the console show, y'all. It's Storm and Most Live. It's SML Podcast. We talk about a lot of different things, and we have a lot of Stadia. We damn sure have a lot of Stadia videos, don't we? But that's because that's what we prefer right now in the cloud. Is until somebody trumps it and takes it out as the king of cloud gaming, which it is, then we're gonna keep on putting these Stadia videos up there until something bumps it off. But the thing is, Ron, yes, it's a multiplayer game, free to play. You sign up for xCloud. All Game Pass subscribers have access now. But if you get on there and you can't have an experience that's going to get you kills on multiplayer, are you going to enjoy that? I hope that's not the case. Hopefully they'll be able to optimize and upgrade, but they haven't done that yet. And this now is not even the launch window right now. After a week, after 2 weeks or whatever, then now we're talking about, hey, man, what is this service really going to look like? But that's all. What's your thoughts?
it just comes down to that Stadia secret sauce, man. I think no one's been able to duplicate it, replicate it. I don't know if it's because it runs on Linux. I have no idea what it is, but no one's come close. And I mean, honestly, the only way I can see, Luna or xCloud being on that Stadia level is they'd have to just start fresh and probably scrap everything and convert to that same Linux and codec.
No.
I mean, and at this point in the game, I don't know if they can afford.
Well,
to
you
do
just said
like
something that could help them out, and that's the AV1 codec that we keep harping about. The AV1 codec is supposed to help with everything streaming, man. All thing Netflix and everything, Amazon Prime, all of that, man. It's supposed to help with everything streaming. So maybe that could give it a kick in the pants and all that, man, so that it will impress the masses. Because right now, based on the feedback we see, it doesn't impress the masses, but Stadia does. But Stadia just doesn't have all the other things in order that people see as shortcomings.
So here's what I want to throw out there real quick. I want to throw this out there real quick, get you guys' thoughts about it, and then we're gonna let because this is a hell of a we can go all night. Ron Slusher could be the honorary third person. This is a hell of a conversation. But we want to get some of these deniers out here not to debate, but just to hear their thoughts. But I'll say this. I want to ask this and get both of y'all thoughts on this. Now, Storm, and correct me if I'm wrong, Storm. The AV1 codec is going to help with fidelity and bandwidth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if necessarily if it's going to help with latency. It's going to help with fidelity and bandwidth.
I see where you're going. Damn it. I didn't account for Stadia having it. Damn.
And then, hey, look. And then they do have the rights now to the Orion technology. That's going to help with frames.
Right.
But when you want to switch, somebody had I can't remember who put that out there. I saw it in an article and we've been echoing this here. When you want to convert people from old tech to new tech, they got to feel like it's an enhancement overall. There are some give and takes, but there's got to feel like an enhancement overall. Like you don't go from horse and carriage to a car if the horse and carriage still travels faster. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't solve the problem with latency with Xbox, the frames don't matter, the fidelity don't matter, and the codec really doesn't matter. The bandwidth don't matter. It all got to feel good. So I think the question that Ron was bringing up, and Ron can answer after Storm, but I think what he was bringing up is Stadia, is Xbox's technology at its core too flawed? Because it's something else I've been arguing with them having consoles and using them is that too flawed? Because you saw them having to go to Rainway to work on the web. Do you think that that's too flawed, or do you think that eventually they'll come to an answer when it comes to latency? I'll start with Storm first, then we'll go to Ron, and then we'll close out the call.
Man, I think you know how I feel about it. Anytime you're talking latency, I think about negative latency, and that's Stadia. Stadia has that in the bag, so much so that I have hundreds of videos proving that, y'all. Like, that's what I do. So, and again, when we're talking about xCloud and everybody else, man, GeForce Now performs very well. It does. It performs very well, man. Luna can perform very well. All of them,
Yep.
But man, we're talking xCloud because xCloud had that potential, man. They have Game Pass. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Like, this is what I'm saying, MM. So when it comes to latency, man, the talk goes towards Stadia every time, man. Stadia is doing something that it should be illegal. It should be illegal, man, in 15 territories, but it's not. But it's not, y'all. And because it's not illegal, we get to enjoy it. And it's crazy that we even talking about Stadia on another level, on the level with any of these other services right now, to me. Because it's just that damn good, man. But don't believe me. Try it out.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts, Ron? I think you kind of already answered it, but do you think that you said they got to start from the beginning? Do you think there's any possibility that they'll come across some way to use the current infrastructure to solve latency? What are your thoughts?
As far as Microsoft goes, honestly, I think, man, they need to decide: are we a console company? Are we a cloud company? So I think as far as they go, until they go all in on cloud, they're going to want you to pay that $400 for their console.
Yeah, I got you.
Until they're ready to commit and go all in, we're just going to be left wondering. And to also piggyback on Game Pass, Outriders is good on Game Pass. It's a lovely game. But guess what? It's going to be leaving at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that, Ron. Get Ron off the damn show.
Yeah, get him on the show. Get him
off the show, man. I forgot all about that. Now you done crushed my. So MLB, the show is going to leave too?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And I'm not done. So Stadia, everything is in place. The tech, you got the user base. Only thing they need to worry about now is the games. And like you said, facts. You check out 2021 top selling games of the year up to this point. Day and date have been on. As far as multi-platform games go, they've been on Stadia. And I know it's a matter of which one of these cloud gaming platforms can grab that Warzone, that Call of Duty. If Stadia is the one that gets there first, that might be the game changer.
Oh, it will. Now that'll be, we talking about nails in the coffins and stuff like that. I think that will shake up a lot. Man, Luna would have to get it.
Much ended.
GeForce Now would have to get it because none of them has it right now. They would all have to get it immediately when Stadia gets it, or it will be that'll be ugly for a lot of the competition. But there's no answer to that, man. Like, because nobody is showing us that it could be done on a level that Stadia does it. Again, they are impressive services, GeForce Now, Luna, and PS Now, and all that, xCloud. But they're not. They're not giving me that magic, so I can only call it like I see it, y'all. I play them all. I have them all on video for you to check out, man. I mean, I put time in on them. They just can't compete with Stadia, and that's why we're here having these conversations the way we do. But yeah, man, I'm about to get up out of here in a minute, man.
All right, well, Ron, thank you for the call, man. We you can call back, brother. We gotta. This was a hell of a conversation, man. But have a good one, brother.
All right, fellas.
All right. So yeah, and I definitely want to close out now because our good brother Jim is about to go live in a couple minutes with his Rainbow Six Siege gameplay.
Hey, the Summer Community Championship. We already mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, right? Let me bring that up real quick. I want just real quick before we go. The summer. Oh, holy! Where the hell is it? I had it.
Summer Community Championship.
Oh, there you go, right there. Okay, Summer Community Championships. Don't forget about it, y'all. It's going live next Saturday, July 10th. Don't miss it. Your chance. Don't lose out on your chance to register now for your chance to win up to $1,400. I'm gonna drop a link to that right now. Summer Community Championships. While I'm doing that, Storm, can you let the good people know where they can find you at, man? This was a hell of a show.
Man, you all, if you don't know, you can find me right here on YouTube. Just type in Project Storm. There are going to be other Project Storm, but type in Project Storm 8K. Yes. And then you'll find me, because there's nobody else named Project Storm that's dropping 8K videos. Project Storm 4K, Project Storm Stadia, something like that, and you'll find me. You can find me there, and you can find me on Twitter at the Nephophiliac, right? The Nephophiliac, that's someone who loves clouds. And y'all know I love some clouds. You know what I mean? When it comes to cloud gaming, I love all of it, really. I really can appreciate and respect all of it because it shouldn't be possible right now, but it is. And Stadia is carrying that torch right now. So y'all can find me in those places.
Yep. And you can find me here at Stadia Dosage or at MM2K Videos. We are on a hiatus right now, but we're going to eventually get there. And go check out right now Jim Beer Gaming. He's about to go live with his stream of Rainbow Six Siege. I'm trying to find, I can't find Jim Beer Gaming. I'm trying to find a link to his thing right now because my brother's so humble. There he goes. Hold on. Let's go Jim right now. That's his channel. And we're going to say, go see Jim now. Let Jim know, go see Jim now. And go let him know that it's a raid. Tell him it's a SML podcast raid. With that said, thank you all so much for coming through. We appreciate and love all of y'all. And until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.
Peace. Thanks for sticking with us, y'all.
Peace.